Streaming live. Streaming live. Streaming live, West Palm Beach, Florida.
And we are live here at the Palm Beach Kennel Club. My name's Terry.
Joey Dolan's right here, coming in, celebrity guest appearance.
God, we needed a celebrity guest appearance. We're here today doing a 1-2 cash game with the usual suspects. Go ahead and jump right on into the action. And pocket threes, best hand per usual pre-flop coming on in. King 9, flopping middle pair.
Yeah, with the Kennel Club.
Looks like this one's going to be over pretty quickly. Just kidding. We're going to have a little check fest to begin the day. Looks like Paul improved to an open-ended straight draw.
What do you bet out? 16 here with the three.
How do you just fold an open-ended right there? Were you still trying to wake up? Oh, you know what? I think he ordered a decaf. It's the only thing that makes sense.
Huh.
Looks like the table's a little short right now. Looks like everyone's coming on up from downstairs. I'd like to remind everybody that we got the Moneymaker Tour coming through next week. Joe, you want to give them a little information on that?
Oh, yeah. We start on October 25th, Wednesday. The opening event is pretty awesome. It's the Mystery Bounty event. It's a $500 buy-in. We have a $200K guarantee on that. We're probably going to crush that, though. And there's 8 different flights. There's 2 on Wednesday, 2 on Thursday, 2 on Friday, 2 on Saturday. Day 2's on Sunday. Day 2 is when the mystery bounties start. So $150 from each buy-in is dedicated to bounty. And then when we get to day 2, everyone's in the money. It should be roughly the top 12%. And that's when the bounties will start.
Guys, I just saw the mystery envelopes, and guess what? There's officially a 15K mystery bounty. And if we get more entries, which we will, that's going to be up to probably a 25K mystery bounty. So come on down, guys. It's going to be a big one. We're going to crush that guarantee. And it's just a really good tournament. It's a really well-run tournament. Chris Moneymaker will be here. Joey's been working endlessly to make sure this thing's going to run smoothly, which it does every time. This will be the 3rd time the Moneymaker Tours rolled through.
Second.
Second?
Second time, yes. That's okay. 3rd time will be soon. In February, they're going to come through again. But this will be the second time.
You know, I believe you.
We did their first event ever was back in May. That was the opening event. For them.
Okay.
So we kicked off their tour.
Lovely. This
is the second event. It's going to be pretty exciting. Day 2, that's when the mystery bounties will start. And every time you knock someone out, you're going to get a bounty chip. And when you get knocked out, you're going to get paid. You're going to cash in your bounty chips, and you're going to pull from the mystery box. And there's all envelopes in there, and they all range from $300 all the way up to $15K.
And how much is each one of those bounties worth, each bounty chip?
Each bounty, it just gives you a pull from the
okay.
the box.
Oh, okay. So if you get knocked out with a bunch of bounties, you get to pull out multiple.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So if there's 100 people for day 2, everyone will have a bounty. There'll be 100 bounties for the day.
So if you collect 5 bounties, you get 5 pulls out of the mystery box. You get 5 chances.
When you get knocked out and it's time for you to get paid, you're going to cash in your 5 bounties that you took, and you're going to get 5 pulls from there.
Ooh, baby.
Got a 15K, a 10K. We're going to specifically hold a 5K out for the final table as well. So just the final 9 will have a guaranteed one of them will be worth $5,000.
Sounds like we're doing a little throwback to Deal or No Deal.
I was going to say, it's exactly like Deal or No Deal. Especially when you get to the final, we're going to know what's left in the pool. You know, so we're going to know, there's a $10,000. There's the guaranteed 5 is still left, you know.
God, that's.
We'll know all the bounties that got pulled already. So it'd be
I
pretty
almost want to
exciting as
take
the
like
day
a
goes
3-week
on.
sabbatical so I could come through and play and get a little chance to.
Yeah. Just
But I don't
quit
think
your
they.
job for
Yeah,
a month.
just for a month. It's not a quit. It's a sabbatical.
Can I quit tomorrow? Come back. Yeah.
I'm only going to be gone for a month, but I'll see you guys every day.
Yeah, we got Joey and Terry here today.
What up, Chuck?
What's going on, Chuck?
Could you try again?
So back to the poker. We got a pretty chalk hands here. Ace nine. Best hand should win, but seeing as how there wasn't too much action pre-flop, they're gonna be able to show this down for relatively cheap, $8 at the end. Joey's watch is talking to him.
No, I was apparently talking to my watch this whole time.
So you always have a friend with you?
Everything we just said went to Siri, apparently. Joey, did Sal forget to set his alarm again? Huh?
Actually, Sal is on a top secret mission.
Yeah.
We can't tell you because it's
No,
in fact
we
top
can't
secret.
give out this information yet.
But Sal should be here relatively soon.
Yeah.
And if not, then you get me and Joey.
You get me for a bit. I have a lot of work to do.
He says he's got a lot of work to do, but I mean, if he's here
We're
with the
getting ready.
head with
We're
the
still
headset
getting
on,
ready
as
for Moneymaker, but this is pretty cool. I love coming in the box, in
Are
the
you-
booth.
you're gonna be in the booth for some of the tournaments too. I'm guessing, right?
I'm gonna try to jump in.
Cool.
I'll jump in where I can.
Cool.
I'd like to. I hope so.
Yeah, guys. During the tour, we should be streaming. I don't want to say every day because I'm not sure if that's correct, but I mean,
You'll be streaming a lot. There's a
Yep.
lot of featured tables for all the flights. You're going to run featured tables. We're going to run final tables for both the main event and for the mystery bounty. There'll be a few other final tables thrown in there.
that's awesome.
Yeah, we're going to try to get a cash game going. Big cash game. A Chris Moneymaker cash game.
Like a streamed cash game?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, awesome. We can do like a little 5-10, maybe a little straddle, a little 5-10, 25 maybe.
Probably a little bigger.
Yeah, boy.
Think a little bigger.
All right, now I definitely take the
I
sabbatical.
was like 5'10". I don't know about that.
Well, 5-10 is never really a 5-10. It's
No,
a
I know.
5-10 with
It's
a little,
never actually 5'10".
a little
You're right.
25 on the button, you know.
But that would be really cool if we can get, I think we're going to set that up.
Well, guys, I'd love to comment on some poker here, but it's been relatively quiet. It is cash, so we should see more hands than we normally would in a tournament. But,
I know it's weird. It's weird for me to even look at a cash game. It's been a long time. Like what? $1, $2?
Well, Mario's not here yet, so it's not going to play like a 2-5, but normally this game gets pretty
Is
juicy.
that what happens? Yeah.
Yeah, we got G-Man in the 8 or 9 seat, and he's
right.
always good for some action.
Cedric and C3.
Sed's here,
He's
JJ,
regular.
Paul. Yeah,
Oh,
we
yeah.
got some regs here.
Oh yeah, these are all the guys.
But guys, this is not a regulars game. Come on down, put your name on the list. Anybody can play.
Yes,
as
come
soon
on
as
down
the
and
seat
play.
opens. This is not a private game. Put your name on the list, and we'll get you on stream.
Yeah.
We'll make you a star.
You're like, I could take these guys. Come on, I want to
We'll
crack
prove
at
it.
them.
Come on down, prove it.
Yeah.
All right, looks like we've got a couple of playable hands here. Got a raise to 15 with 4 callers.
This is fun. This is the spot you want to be in with fours. See? Called it. I knew it.
That is so gross. That's the case too, because someone else folded a 4.
Oh wow. I was like, fours are in the good spot here if they can.
Yeah, but that's just
connect.
not a good flop for anybody else either. I don't think Paul's going to get any action. Oh, just
No.
kidding. G-Man is the action, and he bets out with a lot of backdoor draws.
Yeah.
The 7 high
He's
backdoor
firing
draws.
at this.
Let's see what Paul does if he just calls. That's smart.
Paul's got a checker, just like he's got to let a card fly off
He's
here.
playing his man. He
It's
knows
a
that no
hard-
matter
yeah.
what, G-Man's not going to stop betting.
There's a harmless flop here.
Oh, there's one of those backdoors we were talking
Yeah.
about.
Ooh, check on
No
there.
bink.
Ooh, nothing. He needs G-Man to fire out. in this.
G-Man says, "What's that?"
Uh-oh, check. Is that all? Forceful?
That's it.
I knew going into that hand, I'm like, fours are. This is the spot you want with fours here. That you got in cheap, see that flop 4 ways, spike the set.
I will set mine 95% of the time if it's for like $20 or less on a 1-2 game.
Yeah.
But that's just me. I like the
Sets
action.
are how you make your money.
Yep.
Sets are how you make money. in
Especially
poker.
those under repped
Yeah.
pocket 4s.
Yeah.
You don't really see it coming.
It's a cash game. Just hit your set.
Yep.
and smash it, and hopefully dodge the flush.
Sound like
But
you're speaking from
it's
experience.
just, yeah. That's just what happens to sets. That's how they go down.
Let's see if Paul comes through. $2 on a 5, 2 of hearts.
Get in there, Paul.
Come
He's in. He just
on.
won a pot. Easy call. This is how I would play. I'm in for $2 there. After that pot, I know it's probably not getting raised. It did get raised, but
I'm actually kind of shocked how he raised here with his tens because he actually likes to play his bigger hands a little slower, and he'll just kind of
that's a
call
big raise
most of the
too,
time.
$20 right
Yeah.
there. He's not really going to get action on that pot, but he probably doesn't want it. Oh, he did get action.
Yeah, you
There it
got
is.
Nick on the
Never mind.
button with ace-6 of
Suited
diamonds.
ace.
Super whiff on the ace-6. Great flop for tens. We got a backdoor flush draw. Nick says, I want no part in that. He says, how he's still betting? Next hand.
Yeah. Good flop for tens. Fire out.
We got Brian in the box.
Oh, yeah.
One of our better dealers. I say one of our better dealers, but there's not really anybody I can think of who's just not a well-qualified, good dealer that works
yeah.
here. We have a cachet of professional dealers.
Yeah.
And Brian's definitely at the top
Brian's
of that
hair
list.
is on point. I gotta
Always.
say. His hair.
Always.
His hair's on point today. He's a big dude too, you know.
I mean, he's only, 6'4", 270?
Yeah.
Nah.
Looking good. $10-4, good buddy.
10-4.
Ace King.
Wow.
Sorry.
Howie
What a
coming
sorry.
through.
It's gonna be a sorry Ace King here. Oh, Queen 10, Mike.
Queen 10, probably
It's
not
20
from Bob.
is
Maybe
20
from G-Man. But
Seems like 20 is the raise. Is this the average pre-flops? 10x?
so it is
10?
sometimes, but it looks like, wow. Oh, JJ's got 9s. I thought JJ had Jack 8. I had to say that didn't sound right. It's a great flop for 9s.
Yeah. Let's see if it. There we go.
JJ wants to see where he's at. Oh, actually, JJ checked, and wow, I'm kind of surprised Howie's betting the 20 on this. Nice bet, Howie, even though you're behind. I like the bet. You bet one more time, you're going to take it down, man.
Yeah. This is your chance to
Yeah,
fire
he wants to
again.
check to see if he hits on the river.
Oh.
And he does. Bing, bang, 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 bong.
Nines aren't doing anything at all here.
No.
Stunned.
What a super run out here.
Yeah.
I'd like to throw out the
Howard.
irony of JJ
Howard.
wearing the Live Lucky hat. Not so much on this hand,
Howard.
JJ. Look, Sed already moved the button. He's like, I know where this
Yeah.
is going. Sed knows he's got 9s.
He tossed the 35 in. Took a bite of his sandwich there at the same time. That's a man with the nuts, guys. If you ever played poker, you have to know.
If your man's eating and betting,
That
you're
man is
in
the
trouble.
most comfortable man I've seen.
You
Hey, JJ let him get there, right there. JJ had to bet that flop. He was afraid of the jack, but
Yep.
you got to.
But at the same time, he knows his player too, because he knows how he's usually not betting with something really strong there, and he put in 20 pre-flops, so
Yeah.
that's screaming
Yeah,
like
you're right.
queens or kings. And then actually Howie played it
Howie-
great with the
yeah.
check on the turn. He could have kept the pedal on, but you have so many
He
outs
bet at
there.
the flop there.
Yeah, it's a good C bet, and then
Slow
any
down
ace
the
king
turn.
10 hits on the river, you're good to go.
Yeah.
Which did. But even if it doesn't come, I mean, you bet on that river
Yeah.
with the queen on the turn, you're
You bought yourself the card with the bet on the flop anyways,
exactly
too,
100%.
if you wanted it. I like both these hands here.
Joey, I don't know what you're doing with this tournament director nonsense, but you could really make a living in the booth, you know.
Hey, you never know.
And with Sal off doing his super secret missions, we may need you more
Yes,
often. You know?
apparently. I was a broadcast TV major
I was too.
in college. Were you?
Well,
very nice.
so I went to Palm Beach Gardens High School,
Yeah.
and I went to the TV and film magnet there, and then I graduated Connecticut School of Broadcasting.
Okay.
Right after that. And that was 20 years ago, when everything was still kind
Went
of
to
analog.
CBS. Yeah, I almost went to CBS in
Yeah.
Connecticut though.
Oh, the actual.
Yeah.
The original. Cool.
I stayed in Boston. The New England Institute of Art, which is a communications college, just like CBS essentially.
I believe you.
CSB.
I believe you. G-Man with a pair of 6s might actually get this through. Alex says, you
got
know
it,
what,
yeah.
Alex doesn't play with this guy. If
This
he
is
does,
great.
he might think about
That's
it.
a big
What did he do? He
raise.
just showed the 6 or he showed the 7? Either way. I like how G-Man's got like 60 in white chips in front of him just in
Yes,
case.
that's great. That was a great raise there. Hard to call that bet.
Yep.
Not with those overcards. Right on top.
And he was the pre-flop raiser too, so I mean he's got a wide range
Yeah.
of ace kings, ace queens. Black man winning BMW. So it's actually I went back and watched the stream the other day on YouTube, and it's kind of hard to hear what the players are saying when you're watching it back on YouTube. Right now we can hear everything they're saying, but when you go back, and I'm not actually sure how clear the audio is when you're watching it live on Twitch, but when you go back and watch it on YouTube, it's very hard, if at all, to hear what they're saying at the table. But that's what we're here for. So, BMW. Black man winning.
All right, call. Ace-5 suited called.
But look at this shit, 22.
Come on, 6-7. Get
22.
in there, 6-7.
Howie, come
Howard.
on. Where's he going?
That's,
Where's he
this
going?
cash game. He's getting odds here.
We got a
This
big old
four-way
pot
hand.
brewing here,
These
90
are great
bucks
hands
in
for
the
a
middle.
four-way pot.
Ooh. Interesting flop. No one with really too great a hand. Obviously, Nick flops top pair with the backdoor flush draw, but G-Man
G-Man
is...
smashing the jack here.
It's gonna
Nick's
be,
got to think about this because
Yeah.
he's got a weak ace, multi-way pot, but
but
this is a
G-Man's
big bet.
representing anything from ace-10 to ace-king here. Obviously, he's not doing this with a set, but I
He
mean,
might not-
he's repping this with an ace-king.
He might not believe him though, because he did this again.
Some of these guys have not played with G-Man. Some of them have, and I don't remember Nick being on here too many times, if at all. So I think it's going to be hard for him to make this call. I think, but just because he doesn't know G-Man style. But if he knew what we knew,
He's saying a set of jacks.
set of jacks. First of all, he shouldn't be talking with 4 guys in the hand. But
No, that's what he said. Oh, yeah, true.
Alex says, "I have a pair."
Alex
That might
can't
be
screw
good.
him. That ace was the only hope.
Look at G-Man coming through, getting the ace to fold. Howie's very comfortable eating his chili.
That's what I was saying. He showed it.
He only showed the jack.
He did?
He only showed one
Oh,
jack,
that's
and the other one's down.
fantastic. That's so good.
He said, "How'd you know?" So for those of you that aren't as, incorporated in the game of No Limit Texas Hold'em, aggression will win out 9 out of 10 times. And G-Man could have checked that and left it open for Nick
Yeah.
to bet his ace. And
He
at that
will-
point,
He loses control of the hand.
right, let's say Nick bets 40 there into a $90 pot. Then G-Man decides to shove. Nick can't fold.
Yeah.
He's already got 60 in there total.
Yeah, exactly.
He can't fold. So G-Man just took the lead and said, hey, I got a piece. I can improve. And I
Yeah.
might just take it down right now.
Taking the lead's really important because it just gets you information. You see if people play back at you or not, and then you can go from there.
I mean, going all in, I don't know if that's taking the lead
No,
or just.
That's not there.
But I know,
He
I
didn't
know you're
give wiggle
saying.
room, but just in general, when you bet out, it's
Yep. So
That's what's happening.
Nick's steaming a little bit here. He's got the Queen 7 offsuit. Here's a bunch of ugly hands. This is what I like
Yeah.
to see. Queen Jack 4.
bunch of
well,
white chips in the pot.
there's Nick flopping top pair. And depending on what G-Man has, it looks like Nick's going to take this one down. But see, this is why I don't really like calling $2 in any pot. Because then, let's say you hit what you're looking for, you have a little pot. I mean, what do you're winning $8 here. What's the...
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, I like this. G-Man's got a mystery hand. Maybe like a 9-10. Check, check. Nick's going to shut it down. Would probably call anything G-Man bets here.
G-Man all in. Boom.
G-Man does have something good. Looks like Queen Jack or King Queen, something good.
Have you ever read any poker books?
A long time ago.
You like?
Yeah, a long time ago.
You ever read a book? There's a really good poker book that I suggest people. It's called Zen and the Art of Poker.
Yes. Who wrote that? Don't tell me who wrote that. Zen and the Art of Poker.
I don't know who wrote it.
Huh?
I don't know who wrote it at the moment. But it's a lot of really interesting, like, just ways to look at the game. And, like, a cash game like this, like, the reason why you would you'd almost purposely play bad hands because you're like inserting yourself into the flow of the game. So you're making everyone know that you're like part of the action in here. So you're
Absolutely.
giving up a little bit of equity just to like be constantly participating in the game. So then you could extract from it later, you know?
Right. No, you're going to get that value when you do have a hand because
Yeah.
people are just going to always question whether you have it or not.
Yeah.
As opposed to a guy like Paul, you're going to get out of Paul's way because you know that he's going to have aces, kings, ace,
Yeah.
king, ace, queen more often than queen 7 off or different hands that G-Man will play. So
You're just always adjusting to how the flow of the game is going. If the game's friendly to limping, then like you can get away with a lot of limps and spots, just and,
Sure.
and be part of that too. And then you could easily like if you're in position, then take control of it and see if everyone tightens up or not. And,
Sure.
It's
I've always
some deep level thinking.
No, well, I mean,
Deep thoughts.
it's deep. I mean, to a certain extent, but I mean, you're absolutely right. Like, I mean, and that's how I like to play cash games too. I like to be in the action. I like to for people to not know where I'm at. You know, I could have, Jack 7 suited, or I could have aces, and really never know where someone's at when they play like that, and you're
sure.
gonna get paid off with your good hands.
This book also deals with a lot, like if your cash game that you're sitting in isn't very good, then you should like get a different table. If you're winning at your cash game at your table, people say like, oh, hey, I'm up $200 or I hit a certain amount, I should go. Like, no, you shouldn't. That means the conditions are favorable at your table here. You've been playing all day. You're doing really well at this table. This is a good table for you. You should continue playing until the dynamics of the table change. And then you get out. New people come in and bust out, and now aggression has changed or tightness has changed, and then
Yeah, the entire dynamic will usually change.
But just always being adjusted to that, and just getting used to that.
Well, I think it's really important to know when to change your gears, and a lot of cash game players, they kind of stay the same, the same gears, but the really good players, you can tell that they're going from playing raising with 4 or 5 suited to folding ace queen,
I'll be right back. Oh, hold on. I'll be right back, guys.
Joey's got to go do some important tournament director stuff, and you're left with me, guys. So if it sounds like I'm talking to myself, it's because I am. But back to the action. We got Alex raising 8-4 suited looks like under the gun. And he's going to get that one through. No, that's not under the gun. That's in position, but I mixed up Alex and Nick. God, Joey's gone for 10 seconds, and I'm already mixed up. Again, we'd like to remind everybody that the Moneymaker Tour will be here next week. Starts on October 24th. I'm sorry, returns on the 25th, and it's going to run all the way through to November 6th. Aside from the Moneymaker Tour, we have PLO tourneys. We got Tuesday nights, Thursday mornings, double points on Thursday. Just come on down, guys. We got a lot of good tournaments day and night. Our day tournaments start at 11. Our night tournaments start at 6. And, if you start playing enough, you start playing for points. But we just have really good structures. We have really good games. We got some of the best players in South Florida. And we have some of the worst players in South Florida, too. So, I mean, that's going to help you, win some big pots. And
oh, yeah.
it's...
We have the whole mix here.
We do.
In cash and tournament. That's, this place is all different play levels. And wherever you're at, you can play a game here. And we have the best action. There's no doubt. Our room is the best action.
It's not even
everywhere.
a question.
It's not even close.
No.
And that's the atmosphere we want. We want that fun action. We want it to be...
No, absolutely. We want big pots. We want big hands. We're running our high hand for the month every 20 minutes from 10 to 12 at night, I think. 10 in the morning to 12 at night.
Yeah, till midnight. They go to midnight.
Every 20 minutes, we're running high hands. Aces full is the qualifying. Got to play 2 in your hand, but, ranges anywhere from 100 to 500 depending on the time. And we pay out every 20 minutes. Our bad beats up to 210,000. You heard that right.
Look at this hand breaking out here. Sorry.
No. You're good. You're good.
This is pretty interesting. JJ raises to 11 with the 9-7. Call, and then G-Man comes in with a 3-bet to $100 with the King Jack.
And here's Nick sitting with sevens, knowing it's probably the best hand, but
Behind him.
he's in.
He went all in.
He's chucking it.
Oh, we're going to get a good all in here.
What do you think, G-Man smashing?
He's only got a call through. Oh, he called it.
Oh,
yeah.
just the nut draw and the jack. No
much.
10, and he
Too
wins.
much.
That's
Yeah.
it. Just in case the first one's no good.
Look at that action. See, right there. That's a 1-2 game.
But
Boom.
this is almost exactly what you were talking about. Like, some guys aren't getting called in that spot if they're shoving. G-Man,
No, exactly.
you're getting snapped.
Yeah.
You know? And
that
obviously
was a
that was
race.
pre-flop. That
Yeah.
was pre-flop, so your hand hasn't really developed yet. But still, that could easily have been ace-king, and he's getting called right there.
Yeah.
Or queens. Now, granted, you're going to make somebody do some things they normally wouldn't do. Like, maybe some guys don't like sevens. Maybe Nick loves sevens. But in that case, I think he's calling because of the guy who raised, not so much because of his hand.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I think if Howie goes all in for 100, I don't think he's
And-
calling with
yeah.
sevens.
He puts that big raise in over JJ. Like, he's really testing JJ's bet every
Right,
time.
right.
JJ can't call that with anything. So it's just like, it's nice 3-bet. And he knows JJ's, pretty tight.
Right. And JJ raised that under the knife, too. So, I mean, he was early position raising. Chances are he's got a good hand, but G-Man put him to the test.
Yeah.
You know?
Dangerous raise, but that's the thing about 3-betting and is just constantly testing the person who
Yep.
raises if you're a 3-better. And there's nothing worse than getting 3-bet. It stinks. It's the worst feeling when when you raise and someone re-raises you back and you don't have aces
Yep.
or kings.
Yep.
And it's always like,
Do I call? Do I just
Awful.
chuck it and live to fight
Yeah.
another day?
But poker, like tournament poker though, like you'll notice over these last few years, like the 3-betting is standard. The 3-bet is the standard raise.
It should
now.
be. Yeah, absolutely.
Like every first initial raise gets tested with a 3-bet. So now the real test is the 4-bet coming in on the 3-bet, which is sick. But that's when that's what happens in deep stack tournaments. That's the level of playing you're at.
Well, yeah, if we're talking tournaments, I mean,
In tournaments especially.
yeah,
like
the
it-
3-bet
stack
is standard.
tournaments,
The
yeah.
4-bet is really the test, you know?
Yes. Because the opening, like no one respects the initial raise is just like part of the game. It's like the blind.
Yep, agreed.
So now it's like anyone can be doing that with anything. So it needs to be tested. Look at Nick here.
So Cedric's going all in with his top pair. Howard improved to a straight draw, open-ended. Not sure what JJ has, but he's thinking about it, so he's probably got a 10. He's probably got maybe like an 8-10, maybe a little less, but he's going to chuck it. Howard improves and then folds. G-Man's got the pair, but that's all he's got. And then Nick actually hit the nuts. I didn't see that. So if G-Man was smart enough to sniff it out.
I was like, G-Man got to know. Yeah.
Snap!
Nick's, ooh, look at this. Cedric,
He got the nuts.
he's drawn dead. That's it.
Oh, that stinks too. You see
Yeah.
that, and you kind of like it. But, here.
All right. On this note, Terry, I'm getting replaced.
Oh, you're getting replaced.
Yes, I have to do,
Hey, listen, you're being substituted out.
stuff.
You could never be replaced.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. But we have one of our fan favorites coming in, one of the best. Here he comes.
What's up, Matty?
Here you go.
How we doing, bud?
Don't know yet. Game's not till 7.
I hope we didn't take you away from anything important.
No, well, I had just dealt a high hand and got tipped, so.
Yeah, boy. All right. We were just talking about high hands too, so there's proof. They do happen.
Okay, now I'm in for real.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah, no, Sal did not forget to set his alarm again. I got the story from Josh.
No, he's on a mission. He's on a secret mission.
Yeah, that it was a little confusing. Josh said, "Hey, can you do the show tonight?" And he said tonight, and my brain not working right.
Mm-hmm.
Thought it was a tournament, and I'm like, "No, it's the Panthers' home opener. I can't do anything tonight."
Are you going? You're gonna be there?
Yeah.
Nice.
And then he's like, "Oh," and he was disappointed, and then he left, and I was like, "Wait a minute, the stream's been going on for an hour. Wait, Josh, come back." I was like, yeah, sure. I can do it.
Well, I think Bob's going to get away from this ace queen. Could be wrong. I am wrong. He's going to head and call and see if one of these overs hits or maybe the gutter
well,
ball.
He's got the over or he's got the straight draw. And nope, that's not it.
Not the straight card he was looking for. Said does not care. He
Yeah.
said if you got it, you got
Right.
it.
It's
I don't care at this point. And you just missed it. Said just lost with 3 10s to the straight, so he's already over it. He's already.
that's pretty tough.
Yeah.
I was dealing to this table, not here, but this table was downstairs right before the show started, and
Gotcha.
I did the last down for it before they moved it upstairs. So.
Gotcha. So there's already some history that we don't know about
Oh,
going
I
on
can tell
here?
you, there's some tilt in here
You got some stories?
that might carry
Yeah,
over.
give me a little something. Just give me something to go on.
Well, I can't see that other corner because they're all not sitting in the same spot.
So we got Bob in the 2 seat.
Is that Howie over there?
Howie's in the 8 seat, correct, or
Okay,
the 9
he's
seat?
in the 8 seat.
Yeah, the 8 seat, correct. Yep.
Because I'm looking, because
And
everybody's moved.
And Howie's actually playing a little more aggressively than he normally does. You know how he likes to
That's
just kind of
difficult
call.
to imagine.
I know. Listen, not only is he raising pre-flop, but he's c-betting with the worst hand. That's where Howie's at.
Ooh.
I know. Impressive.
He feels a tremor in the force.
So I see Queen 8 suited folding.
I see
What
what
is
you mean.
happening?
10-9 off suit. I don't love it.
No, but listen, he's getting some action in there. G-Man actually has a real hand here.
Yeah.
G-Man says 200 off
No,
of
you
16.
said all in. You've got about 4 there. It looks like just south of 4.
Let's see how frisky Howie wants to be here.
And Paul.
Oh, Howie called the 16. He didn't raise with the
Right.
10-9.
Paul's like, I don't think Paul would have called the 16 with pocket trays with that action, even if
he would.
G-Man
Yeah, I think he would have
didn't
called
go
the.
all
I think
in.
he would have
Right.
called to set mine, but he's not calling any type
Alex
of raise
says
here.
no to the KJ.
No, this is a next hand.
Boom. Shake, shake, shake the room.
I always love it when G-Man's on the stream. That means we're going to get some action. We're going to get a little bit of aggression. The only thing we're missing here is a Mario.
On Thursdays, he's hit or miss. Sometimes he's here, like right away. I mean, I'm not trying to disappoint the viewing audience here, but
No, he's.
I've not seen Mario today, like anywhere in the poker room.
Oh, okay.
Did they even need me? I mean, with some of this table talk, I think.
Well, here's the thing,
I mean,
and I was actually
we could probably go for like burgers and fries or something, and nobody will
listen.
miss us.
Don't tempt me with a good time, okay? No, but listen, I was talking with Joey about this, and I went back and watched a video on YouTube the other day, and you can't hear any of the table talk. And I'm
What?
assuming you can on Twitch, but if you go back and watch a video on YouTube,
Huh.
you can't hear any of the audio from the table itself.
That's odd.
Yeah,
That may be worth something looking into,
Yep.
Mr. That Tall Josh.
I agree. Well, it looks like we got some playable hands here. We got Howard with the Jack 10 of diamonds, G-Man, King Jack, King Queen, and an Ace Rag. Comeback Kid's going to come through with a 7-3 of clubs. What do we like?
Uh-oh.
Dun, dun, dun.
A bit of suspense there.
Ooh.
It's an Alfred Hitchcock moment. Like, what's the flop, man?
So it looks like we got a gutter ball for Howie, G-Man top pair, Nick top pair, sixes for said.
All right, he's in two move mode now. It's either fold or all in.
G-Man probably he's all in for 400. Nick's
He's really thinking.
this is
He's
interesting here.
He's like, come on.
Nick's got to put in his whole stack here with just king high.
Pure gamble.
But listen, this is what G-Man's been doing the whole time. So if he can sniff it out against anybody else, I think it's an easy fold. Against G-Man, I'm really
if
thinking
he had
about
an
it.
ace king or ace queen
Sure.
instead of king queen, I think he snap calls, but
But he could be
King,
putting him on a straight
queen.
draw here. He could just be putting him on a naked king. I mean, listen.
it's really hard.
Yeah, but G-Man's been doing it for the last half hour. This is
Yeah,
what
I
he's
know.
been doing. I know you know.
Right.
And you don't even know.
Well, actually, I didn't know specifically. I didn't see it,
Right,
but
but you know that's how G-Man
I've-
is.
I've seen this
Right.
show before.
See, and this is
Yeah.
this is not okay. This
No,
kind of table
that's-
talk is not okay. But it's a cash game. It's
As a dealer, heads up, I tolerate it, but there is other
There's
people in
multiple
the hand,
players in
Yeah,
the hand,
action
correct.
behind him. So I'd put the kibosh on that. I mean, we try to keep it fun, but
No, but there's a line,
Yeah,
and I think when there's other players involved.
when there's other players in the hand, that's not
No, you
cool.
said it perfectly. When it's heads up, you give them some leeway, but
Yeah.
multiple players in the hand with influencing action, with players who haven't acted behind. I mean,
Right.
that's a whole hodgepodge
That's,
of just keep your mouth
that's
shut.
That's a no-no.
Yep. I got a feeling Nick's going to just let this one go just because it's for his whole stack. If G-Man only had 1 or 200, maybe, but he's literally putting in.
If he's got ace king, that's probably what he's wondering so hard. I'm like, does he really have ace king?
Nice.
Ooh.
Good call. Good call. It's
And
a
he
tough
calls.
one.
Yeah,
Again, against
the whole rest of the table folded like 2 minutes ago while he was thinking.
Yep.
Like in their minds.
Yep.
Just not officially.
G-Man does
I
not like
forgot
that.
about Howard. He only needs runner, either straight cards or diamonds.
He's got a gutter ball. He could hit the queen, but other than that, it's a lot of. How? You got 150 behind you. Just chuck it. Just go to the next one, bud. No, he's not. Oh my God, he's so gross.
He's playing for the gutter or the running diamonds.
Oh my God.
You have to admire such tenacity.
Okay.
Now Nick just thinks he wants to hit that second pair. He doesn't.
No, Nick needs a nice little deuce runner here. Good read, Paul.
Called out
Good read, Paul.
immediately. He's like, "What's up?" He's got to set up the main pot. Give him a second, guys.
And this is why it's
as dealers, we always do our best to try to be efficient in dealing the game. But when you got the multiple pots like this, you got to give the dealer some leeway.
Yep.
A lot of people say, "Oh, just run them and root for the big stack." No. They told me that in dealer school, and I disagreed with it then. It's like, no, make sure all the pots are straight and everything so that...
So now an ace will save him on the river for a chop. Like I said, bing, bang, boom.
Ooh.
Bing, bang, boom.
Run! Go! Get to the chopper!
Get to the chopper. He did fold ace-6. That did fold a monster there.
Oh, wow.
G-Man getting bailed out with a runner
yeah,
chop.
he did.
And you know what? That's a great call from Nick. Again, I think if anybody else shoves there, I think it's an easy fold. But he's playing the man, not his cards.
And that specific run out, I'm sure he's a little frustrated to not be getting that big pot when he had him the whole way. But I've seen many runners, both playing and dealing,
where he loses that pot.
Right. It's like, at least you didn't get runner and you lost.
Yep. Agreed.
And you did win a little because they get to chop Howie's money.
Howie, and it was a big pre-flop race, too.
So they get to chop that.
He's getting something, but no, you're right.
You're winning something. So,
listen,
I know G-Man, he's happy. He's very happy with the chop. He got bailed out. And when it runs like that, you kind of want to be like, oh, I can't believe that run out. I'm like, it could have been worse.
Yep.
It could have been so much worse.
And I tell you what, by shoving there with just King Jack, that's going to ensure that he's getting called down the road with.
Right. If he flops a set.
I mean,
he's so getting paid.
Or if he flops middle pair and shoves, then he's probably getting called too.
Right. That's what I mean.
Right. You're getting called in a lot of spots here.
Like
so you almost kind of want to change gears just a little bit.
Yeah, the more aggressive you get, if you get too aggressive, it becomes next to impossible to bluff.
Right.
Especially if they see your cards. This is why when they say show, it's good for the game. I'll never show. Like if I stone cold bluff you out of a hand, you'll never know.
You'll never know about it.
Unless we're on a stream and you watch it later.
Right.
Then you'll find out. Because they're like, ha, I bluffed you. And I'm like, well, I'm never going to be able to bluff again. That's going to be my only bluff.
Pretty good flop for nines, relatively speaking. JJ was the pre-flop aggressor, so he could actually rep a bigger hand here, ace, king, king, queen type hands. I think comeback kid for only having $30 behind him. Just kidding, he's out. But I think for only having $30 right there, that's not a bad flop for nines. But then again, that's what you do for just calling pre-flop instead of just shoving and letting it go. Or even bet on the flop. If he bets on the flop there, I think it's hard for JJ to call because he knows that comeback kid only has $30. So, I mean, what are you going to do? You're going to call off $30 with $7 or with pocket sevens? Or are you going to, chuck it? Anyway.
The comeback kid.
On to the next one. Hey, Matt, did you hear about this Moneymaker tour we got coming through?
A little bit.
A little something about it?
Night of the living double shift for me.
Looks like
I kid. I signed up for every available night shift because I work days because I'm a team player.
you're a legend.
And
You got to say it a little louder.
no,
Joey's
no,
not
no,
really
no.
listening. You got to
no,
say it just a
no,
little
the reason
louder.
I did, I think I was going to be in big trouble if I didn't volunteer for like everyone because I actually get to go away for my anniversary
Where are you going?
the first weekend of the Moneymaker. So, and we didn't have the dates for it then when I put in for the time off. So they're like, okay, we're going to let you go.
Where are you going?
Vegas.
Ah, beautiful.
But when I get back, they're like, you better sign up for some of these shifts because we're being very nice letting you go to Vegas.
Now, when you say sign up for some of the shifts, you mean for a stream?
Shifts.
For a stream or
All
for
of them. It's like
for
wherever they put
dealing?
me.
Okay.
It's-
Yeah, I didn't even see a sign up sheet.
Yeah, they just put it up
Oh,
for
okay.
the night shift. So I'm like, night shifts where I'm not in Vegas or attending a home Panther game. I'm like, yep, I had to sign up for all of them.
Where are you staying in Vegas?
We're going to bounce around the Westgate and Caesars.
Oh, okay. I lived out there for a year in the early 2000s. We lived right off 215 and Jones, and the Orleans was my home base casino. I mean, obviously we play everywhere. Bellagio always has good cash games. You know, catch some tourists there, but a lot has changed in Vegas.
Yeah, for me, it's the sports betting. My brother used to live out there. I'd be like, hey, go to the Hilton, give me this, this, and this. And I set up a bank account that he had access to. So he'd always put in my action, and if I won, I'd cut him off a little piece.
Did you ever go to the Hilton when they had the Star Trek experience there?
Yes, once.
So they
And
got
it was at the tail end of it.
they got rid of everything. They got
Yeah.
rid of all the Star Trek stuff in there, which was actually really cool back in the day. But the Hilton had an amazing sports book. So does Caesars, obviously.
Yeah, it's the
Dude, that Hilton sports book that was like almost like a convention sized room.
yeah.
I mean, it was
it's
a
the
3-story
Westgate now.
wall. What's
And
the
that's where
the Westgate's the Hilton?
Yeah, the old
Oh,
Hilton.
okay, I didn't know that.
Back of that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Ooh, nice little flop here for Ace 9 of Diamonds.
They bought up that giant tract of land that used to be the Stardust, and now Resorts World is there now.
Okay.
But he lived over by there, so I'd be like, hey, run over the Hilton and give me this on a parlay and give me this. Because I wasn't going out on the casino boat, paying like dock charges and all that stuff just to get
out
to
of
a
Porta Palm
sports book.
Beach?
Yeah,
Yeah.
The Princess used to
Yep.
have a book. I did that once, and I'm like, well, I'm never doing that again.
Mm-hmm.
Because then I had to take another cruise to collect. Because look, I already won.
That's
They're
how
like-
they get
they're,
you.
They're like, we can't cash that ticket. It's illegal. We got to be an international watch.
Uh-huh.
So I'm like,
You a hockey better?
not really.
I know some guys that only bet hockey.
When I do, I tend to take the Panther game off my board
Smart.
and then just bet the rest of the league.
No, it never really works out well betting your own team. Unless you're a Carolina Panthers fan and you bet against them. then you're actually sitting pretty.
Hey, that was the Dolphins forever and ever. So I feel that pain. All right.
Back to this cash game we got.
How can he be so expletive lucky? That's right, because someone who beats you, it's never because they beat you.
No.
He got lucky. He caught a card. Where's his cards? He's got his cards in the wrong box.
I asked him to. I specifically told him, I was like, I need you to pick a box before the stream started. I said, you got to pick 6 or 7. He said, oh, I'll take 6. I'll take 6. I said, okay, that's fine. Just make sure it's 6 every time. You know what this game needs? A 7-2 game.
All right. Well, going into the legalities of that, as in ill.
I'm just saying what it needs. It needs. Not saying that it's.
They can't have it, and that is
Matt,
is not
you are such a
house rule.
buzzkill. You are such a
I know.
buzzkill. We were doing fine.
I'm
We were
looking
having
out for the
fun.
show.
We were having fun before you showed up, and now you're just stomping on my fun.
The state compliance guy might be watching me like, what? Are they
Listen,
set
stay
up
compliant, guys. If you're
7-2.
watching, send us something on the chat. We need some life. Nancy, are you out there?
Somewhere in the ether.
I need a smack dab in the chat, please. Brian's been here for a long time. Someone has not tapped him out.
About 8 years, I'd say. Oh, you mean dealing in this down? Okay.
Ba-dum-bum. Has Brian been here 8 years?
Yeah, I think so. Roundabouts.
How long you been here?
15.
It's a long time. You got here right when I left. Yeah, I was here in 2004 and 2005. And then I left.
Oh, I was here. I was just playing, though.
We switched spots. I dealt, you played, then you dealt, and I played, and now we both deal because why not?
I worked my way up. I learned to play poker the old-fashioned way.
By dumping your life savings into the...
No.
Oh, okay.
I started with bar poker to learn the mechanics of it, and then I went to the $2 limit game, and then I worked my way up.
What bar poker? You talking about NPPT?
No, I'm too old for that. Long before they ever existed, there was
another bar poker?
a buddy of mine had a league.
Oh, okay.
And I wanted to help him out, support him,
What a guy.
That and one of the bars was downstairs from my condo, so that helped too.
That definitely helps.
Drink all I want, not have to drive home. Sweet.
And I got chips for it.
Sign me up. Let's go. Shovel up and deal.
Speaking of bar poker, I'm pretty sure we have a BPO event coming up. We do, November 16th to the 20th. Multiple events for our Bar Poker Open. If you are interested or play any of the bar poker leagues around town, you should be eligible to play in one of those.
Nice.
Also, to remind everybody, tomorrow night we got the Rat Pack coming through. It is funny and entertaining. Saturday, we got the Barracks Legend Foundation Comedy Tour. Which pretty much is veterans who are veteran comedians.
Yeah.
So not only have they put their lives on the line for our country, they're also pretty funny. So, come on down, check it out. Support the cause. Paddock's going to be open this weekend. Great food. Great vibes. Terrace is always open. That's not true, not always, but
I was going to say.
Terrace is open.
That would be an announcement. They'd be like, whoa, 24/7? That's...
And then they hate me for false information.
Like, it's been a while since I worked a night shift, but I'm like, hey, if I get a sandwich on the way home at like 11 o'clock, that'd be sweet.
See, look, now he's back in the right box. James is not happy right now. James, our production guy upstairs.
No.
He just wants a nice, smooth ship to be run. I don't think it's asking too much.
Nah, not at all.
We got Howie calling a raise with 8-9 off. I appreciate the enthusiasm. Nick coming through with King Queen again. Let's see a flop.
Logan, a.k.a. Weapon X, a.k.a. Wolverine, having a little sticky card problem. Just don't use the claws, okay, Logan?
Ba-dum-bum. Wow, what a flop. Howie's running pretty clean. Alex is going to c-bet, but it doesn't matter what he has.
All right. Now, Howard, calm down. The temptation to raise is awful. Don't do it. Yeah.
He's putting Alex on a monster here. He's putting Alex on jacks or queens, something that he can't really fold. So I actually don't mind the raise here, especially with such a wet board, straight draws, flush draws out there. But
he does get action. Okay.
Alex is not really sure what Howie could have here.
Very interesting.
It's a bad card any way you look at it for both players. Wow.
Finish him.
Well, we know Howie ain't going nowhere. He says, you got it.
Howard
You beat me straight up.
Brutality.
You know, I used to be a Sub-Zero main back in the late '80s.
I don't
That's
know,
right. My quarter
I
was up
couldn't-
on the dash
Right.
all the time at the Palm Beach Mall.
I couldn't. I couldn't really get the mechanics of the controls
It's okay.
for the Mortal Kombat because then in block, and then they added a run button in MK3. I'm like, and I'd always get spanked. So I'll be like, I'll be over there at the Street Fighter / X-Men Street Fighter and Marvel vs. Capcom. I'm like, yeah, I'll be over there. I just couldn't do Mortal Kombat.
Yep, I was Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter in the late '80s, early '90s. We were there all the time. The Palm Beach Mall actually had an arcade,
Yes, I know.
and
I played there as well.
Oh, look at you! I probably beat you for quarters all the time.
Not at Street Fighter, you didn't.
Hadouken!
I legit ran up a 90-plus game win streak. They were lined up with quarters.
90+
Yeah.
win streak.
I came there with $1 and I was there for like 6.5 hours.
I bet your phalanges did not like you.
No, I was a lot thinner then though, because I was still running track and cross country, so maybe that's why you don't recognize me.
You ever catch that old school Street Fighter movie with Jean-Claude Van Damme?
Oh God, it was awful.
Oh, come on! It was the best, cheesiest video game movie of all time.
Well, I was the kind of nerd that went and saw it in the theater, and about halfway through, I damn near got up and walked out.
You're lying.
Raul Julia's crazy eyes was the only one I'm like, okay, I'll stay for that because Raul
Who wants to
Julia's
go
awesome.
home? And who wants to go with me?
Is it weird that I was rooting for Bison at the end?
Nope, not at all.
They're like, who should we get to play Guile? And an all-American military soldier. Hey, let's get this guy from Belgium.
Let's get the touche. That's funny.
I would say they should have got Chuck Norris, but he'd never shave his beard.
No, and that would be okay. I wouldn't mind having a bearded Guile.
A bearded Guile and
I would
Chuck
totally
Norris
be okay with
with
that.
his round-out kick of awesome. All right, KK5, and you know what that means. Nobody has a king.
That means nobody. So it looks like Alex is going to win this with a pair of fives. And on to the next one.
What?
We missed something while we were talking
Yeah,
about Street
how
Fighter.
did we get to that? That is... I ain't going there, man. For us commentators, that can only end in tears.
For those boomers out there into the old 70s and 80s comedy, we got Andrew Dice Clay rolling through the paddock on December 1st and December 2nd.
I'm going to have to explain to you what a boomer is.
Am I not right? Did I not use that in the correct
Not
sentence?
even close.
Oh, okay. Explain to me what a boomer is, because I'm pretty sure I did use it in the right.
No, plug Andrew Dice Clay first. Then
I
we'll
did.
go
I
back
plugged
to
it December 1st and 2nd. Paddock Restaurant, Andrew Dice Clay.
PBKennelClub.com. Get your tickets. Ooh, and we've got it all in here. Don't worry, I'm not brushing you off.
No. I'm very pretty sure baby boomers were born in the 50s, right? 50s and 60s.
Yes.
Yeah. So
In
then
the
they were
late 40s, early 50s.
Thank you. So they were loving Andrew Dice Clay in the 80s. They were 30 to
Boomers.
40 years old. They were watching Andrew Dice Clay in the 80s. Thank you very much. I
Okay.
am correct.
All right.
Next.
I was gonna say boomers. It's just I get these people saying, "Okay, boomer." I'm like, boomers were my parents.
Right,
okay?
exactly.
Don't call me that.
So, but so now that we've established what a boomer is, did I use it in the correct?
Well, yes.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
But my parents couldn't stand Andrew Dice Clay.
Well, that's neither here nor there.
oh,
Little backdoor king queen. Nope, just kidding.
Negative Ghost Rider. The pattern is full.
Also a boomer cartoon.
Tom Cruise once played a vampire, and looking at him today, I'm starting to think
Maybe
he is a vampire.
He
yeah.
might be. Yeah.
Doesn't look much different than he did in freaking Top Gun.
He looks a little more plastic, a little more, wax museum-ish, but to each their own.
I mean, he strapped himself to a plane to do his own stunt. I'm
Listen,
like,
you got to
I
give
don't
him some
see
credit.
them guy-
You
yeah.
got to give him some credit. That takes cojones for like a 20 to 30-year-old. Buddy's what, 55, 60 doing that? That's pretty impressive. So it looks like the comeback kid will not be coming back. We got a seat open.
Yeah, a bit of a misnomer, that name.
Somebody text Mario, tell him we got a seat open.
I do not have his number. All right, it's Nick with 10-9.
I'm not going to say I'm a big fan of 910, but I do like playing it if I can get in cheap. I maybe might call one raise with it because there's a lot of flops you're really going to like, and it's kind of easy to get away from if you don't hit. Right. So, as far as cash game goes, I'm not opposed to playing 910 often. In tournament, different story, but cash game, I'll take a flop. Although I'm not a fan of just limping, even for a straddle for $4. I want to build a little bit of a pot in case I do hit. And even if I don't hit, take the lead pre-flop, see a flop, and keep betting. In this case,
wow, Bob with the ace. I was going to say, how did the flop miss everybody? It didn't.
No,
it missed almost everybody.
We got a couple of gutters out there, but that's about it. Bob should be able to get this through pretty easily for a pot-sized bet. And Bob's just happy to take one. Oh, somebody. Oh, Howie.
Yeah, Howard.
How much
chasing that gut shot. He needs that. He wants that 10. He's like, I'm going to get that 10.
Chat, do me a favor. Just type anything to let us know that that you're there. I just want to make sure that we're connected.
He's sad.
Joey, do me a favor. Sign up on Twitch and shoot us something.
We had the same thing yesterday, and then Nancy bailed us out.
I requested a smack dab just to see if she was there, but she's not.
All right, Nick with hockey sticks. Bob with the answer.
And Paul with 3 cards.
We're not playing pineapple. Nor does it belong on pizza, and I will die on that hill.
I used to be in that camp. And then someday something happened, and I had, and you know what I think it is? Now let me ask you a question. Do you like pineapple at all? Do you like all right.
I love pineapple.
So you know what I think it is? I think sometimes the chunks are too big on pizza. But if you get little tiny chunks, and you get that sweetness mixed in with the salty of a ham or pepperoni, whatever the case may be, I think it's all about the size of the pineapple. Because I had these little tiny chunks of pineapple on the pizza, and it was amazing. Listen.
For me, it's the taste. It just doesn't belong. That's like, I love steak and I love ice cream. Doesn't mean I want to scoop on top of my ribeye.
I think that's a little different, but I see where you're going with that.
But with pizza, and because I'm a meat lover's pizza guy. I'm not veggie, so I'm like, just pepperoni and sausage. I'm like, I don't want pineapple with that. Get out of here.
Well, I mean, you can't just throw it in with like everything with peppers and pepperoni and sauce.
My wife's
it's got to be specific.
She wants just pepperoni. Just
God
cheese
bless
and
her.
then pepperoni.
God bless her.
No,
that's
sorry.
okay.
No,
just
pineapple. Pineapple. Just pineapple.
That's a little different.
Pineapple. And I'm like, I'll get her a whole separate pie. She's like, no, get half and half. I said, I don't even want the juices touching my slices, but I'll just buy an extra one, and you'll have some you can nuke tomorrow or something. I'll spend that money. I'll get a whole second pie. So you can have your pineapple, because no thank you.
Hey, we got some chatters.
That's all Josh. I told you he's there.
Well, we got B-Girl 72 and the Cube King. They're all coming through. Yes, they're back. Oh, go Tom Brady. I know who that is.
Where? Where's he going to go?
He should be working that Cube King.
Where's he going to go? To the next Hertz board meeting? Not that I ever used them before, but guaranteeing I will never use Hertz again. Tom Brady.
Because of Tom Brady?
Tom Brady's got enough money. He doesn't need mine. I don't rent cars anyway, so I don't think he'll miss it.
We got G-Man flopping bottom 2 over here. Bob with a gutter ball. JJ with Nienta. Paul with a pair and a gutter. And Alex also with a gutter and a backdoor nut flush draw. G-Man should be able to take this one down pretty easily. JJ betting with the absolute worst of it. Not even a backdoor flush draw.
That's run of the mill on this show.
That is straight air.
Maybe he thinks his name pairs the board and he's got 3 J's. I don't know.
I can't really see G-Man only calling here, but I could be wrong.
I mean, a player did that I was dealing to as a joke. He didn't mean it. He's like, I got 3 jacks, I win. And he had like ace jack. There was 1 jack. I said no. And he's like, no, look, 1, 2, and he pointed at himself, 3. And I'm like, yeah, that's not how that works. You have a pair of jacks and you lose.
Oh
To
my
a pair of aces.
goodness.
It was funny.
Let's see if JJ gives up here.
What?
4 clubs on board.
4 clubs on the
G-Man
board.
checked in the dark. JJ shoves it and shows
Thievery.
the 6-3. I love it.
Thievery.
I love it.
Oh.
Oh, that's so great.
I was just about to say before he did that, he did it so fast. I was about to say, I said, this is like, if your last act, that's so a stealable hand.
100%, yeah. And especially if G-Man's checking it twice.
Yeah.
You know if he's checking it twice, that's the green light.
I'd be like, what are you checking your Santa Claus list? What are you checking twice for? I'm
Yeah.
all in.
Yep. And then he shows the 6-3. That's my
Right,
favorite part.
That's dirty. I wouldn't have shown
I know you wouldn't. Trust me, I know you
would
wouldn't.
have let him wonder. I'm like,
Uh-huh.
I said, did he just call me down with something stupid like a 4 of clubs?
But see, with JJ, he usually has it. So I like
Yeah.
I like actually kind of keeping that in there, keeping them on their
Okay,
toes.
Keep him guessing a little
Yeah,
bit.
just a little bit. Because if he doesn't show that, he's got the ace of clubs for sure, hands down, no doubt about it. Maybe the queen of clubs, but either way,
I'm glad I haven't played on a stream.
we
'Cause
are.
I keep
too.
saying how, I'd never show it, but they'll be like, oh, he only bets when he has it. And I'm like, oh, if they only knew. That's the fun. I'm like, I might have it. I might not. Pay money to find out.
Something tells me they're gonna keep that last seed open. I'm gonna stick to an 8-handed game here. All right, we got JJ under the gun with King Queen, very playable. Should be a raise here to the 10, but it'll just call.
Nope.
Paul says, "Yeah, I'm coming along, and I'm gonna call any raise."
A lot of limping going on.
I'm telling you, punish him, G-Man. What are we punishing him with? Jack 4? I like
Jack
it.
for the flat tire. Flat tire. 20 to go. Let's go. 10x.
And he would have position if it wasn't for those darn kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where's Howie going? Nowhere.
Nowhere. Yeah.
We got a lot of diversity in these
he's
hands
definitely going to see a flop. And here we go. Bunch of
here.
tens.
That's a pretty good hand for Nick on the button.
Nick flopping 3 of a kind.
Paul is out there with the nut flush draw, so Nick would be pretty smart to put in a bet here with 6 players. Normally, I would be a
Yeah, if it
proponent
checked
of
around,
checking.
Yeah, I'd probably check there and see one more.
Yeah, there's no card that comes that you really like.
But there are 2 clubs. Paul's got an ace-high flush draw, so slow play in there might bite him.
Yep. And at this point, you're going to really find out where everyone's at, too, by betting.
Right. And the answer is, besides Paul, no damn where.
But I think it's pretty easy to put Paul on a draw here.
Yeah.
I think it's hard to put him on a hand like, 8s or 9s, which he very easily could have, but great turn.
Okay.
Great turn for the 310s. I don't like the check, but
No.
hey, you're not getting any value from God, even the ace too. He checked again.
Right, that's the thing. He might have got value with the.
He could have got
with the
value on
ace.
both streets. On
Yeah.
both streets, he's getting the call with the nut draw on the turn, and you're probably getting a call with an ace.
Well, if by Juan you mean the comeback kid, B Girl 72,
Juan,
yeah, he's
Juan is gone. Juan is gone.
he's Dunsky.
But you can still hang out with us, B girl.
Oh yeah. Small stable, only 20 horses.
Only 20 horses.
Right, yeah.
It's not a lot, I guess. I don't know what constitutes a small stable or a large one. Before that conversation, I would have thought
I'm just
20
saying
is a large stable, but
yeah, that's a lot.
that's small money stables apparently.
All right, Paul with aces.
Paul, please don't just call. There
I
we
was
go.
gonna say,
Alex
you
is
want
going
to
to come
get paid
through.
for a premium hand like that, but you don't want too much action.
No, but I also don't want to wait for somebody else to bet it for me.
And
Even under the
it
gun.
also depends
you know?
on the type of table. Because I'm like 10x might be a little much, but then I play 2-5.
Right. And this game does play like a 2-5, so obviously 20 is
Right,
a good
so
pre-flop
under
raise.
the gun, if I jump from 5 to 50,
Right. No, that's
the usual reaction is going
that's
to
a
be like,
flag.
oh, he's got aces.
Uh-huh.
I'll usually make it like 25, 30. But
Oh, what a
the
flop.
flop's the case ace.
But look, we got a
Are you
open-ended
kidding
straight
me?
draw. He's not out of the woods yet.
No, but
Here's
it
the thing.
is-
He
it's
checks it.
doggone good.
He checks it, though. I like the rainbow here.
So Alex is.
I
with
can't
his
see
open-ended
any
straight
world.
draw.
You think Paul's going to just smooth call, or you think he's going to raise?
I would punish him. All I can say is if it was me. If
Right.
it's me, I'm all in.
G-Man calling through.
There you go. All in. Ooh. Now
Yeah.
that would make me nervous. I'd be all like,
Sure.
"Oh wow, really? I flopped a set of aces." And
Doesn't
you
matter at that
snap call
point
me?
for Alex because he knows he's drawn to the nuts. So he's in for it. He already put in 60. I'm not saying he's committed,
Turn, a
but
jack.
not the open-ended he's looking for, and no bink.
Neither is that. Okay, check high hand. On our cash game, the high hand does count. Aces full of eights. I have no idea what the hand was 15 minutes ago. Yeah, he was kind of hoping for quads after the flop, but when he threw his hand in, he's like, oh, wow, I'm not going to get the quad. I wouldn't.
So as far as the Florida Panthers go, I'm not a regular. I couldn't really even tell. I could tell you one or two players on the team, but I'm not a big hockey guy, right? But I went to a playoff game a year ago, and it was probably the most fun I've had at a live sporting event. And and I go to Heat games, and I've gone to some Dolphins games, and yada yada whatever. And I'm a huge football guy, but I tell you what, there's nothing like playoff hockey, even just a regular season hockey game.
Yeah,
It's just
playoff
so much-
hockey is the best
so much
live
fun.
event in all of sports.
And all the fans, I think hockey fans are some of the best fans in the world, man. They are for real.
Yes. Come a long way these past 10 years.
But even like 5 to 10 years ago, I mean, hardcore Florida Panther fans are hardcore Florida, and then even the ones that aren't hardcore, the ones that show up, they're just really good fans. It's a lot of fun,
I would recommend anybody to go to a game
And not only
that they
that,
can. Just good luck getting tickets for tonight, though.
but in South Florida too, I mean, when it's 80, 90 degrees outside, you get to go hang out inside when it's like a cool 65 degrees.
All my friends that say, oh, hockey's not better than football. I'm like, go out and sit in the sun down at Joe Robbie
Uh-huh.
while I go to the nice, cool ice rink And you guys have fun.
I know you're a Florida lifer because you call it Joe Robbie.
Yeah.
I know you're a lifer.
Doll fans, it's always Joe Robbie. I don't care what name they put on that stadium.
Agreed. I'm putting it out there.
Oh, sorry. I was looking at the screen.
We got top
See
pairs galore. We got a nut draw.
Nut flush.
JJ still hanging
what I
in
was
there with the
looking at.
nut flush draw. Probably going to check this.
Wayne Huizenga put a corporate name on on Mr. Robbie Stadium before his body was even cold.
Yeah, but that became the norm as
Pro
well.
Player Stadium. I'm like, no, beep, you pro player. It's Joe Robbie. Forever and ever.
What's it now, Sun Life?
I don't care. It's Joe Robbie. Weren't you paying attention?
That's true. I blacked out. So it looks like tens with the ace is going to hold up here. Let's see if JJ is going to bluff at it here. That is a no. Alex should be checking this, but he might be going for some thin value because he knows the flush didn't come through. The queen probably didn't hurt him. 6 is a bit of a scare card. That is a thin value bet right there. I like it. He might actually get Bob the call here. Good. Wow. You know,
So bad they can't even fold their own cards.
now some of the best players in the world, they punish the thin valuers. They will just
Yeah.
pop that river. I mean, how could that 6 possibly help him, you know? But in this game, you know, you're not playing too deep relatively. I mean, he only had 60 or 70 behind.
The atheist could not have helped you.
The ace could not have helped you. That's right, Teddy. I flop the nut straight. That's what I do. I'm Matt Damon.
I tell people they're like, my favorite poker movie is Maverick, with Mel Gibson and James Garner.
Bro, I've only seen it
And they're
50
like,
times.
oh, rounders. No, I'm like, it's even less realistic than Maverick. They're like, what do you mean? That's how poker is in those rooms. I said, no, see, in real life, when Matt Damon talks that smack and flops that flush against the Russian mafia guy.
No, he's getting kicked in the face.
The Russian mafia guy gets to keep the money, and Matt Damon wakes up in the Hudson with some cement shoes. That's how that goes in real life.
I got 2 pair. 8s and 8s.
Yeah, it's a good thing there were no guns in that scene, and it was on his boat, because that is the only place he ever gets away with that move. 8s and 8s. Get out of here. No, seriously, in the Old West, he would have got shot for that.
I know. No, that was one of those upscale tournaments, though. So
Yeah,
you know.
that's what I said.
And everyone left their guns at the door. Remember?
Right.
Yeah,
That's what I mean. That's
you
the
couldn't
only
bring 'em
reason
in.
it
Right,
happened.
Right.
He did that in like a regular saloon.
And someone still got shot.
Yeah.
Jodie Foster was great.
Yeah.
That was a great movie.
Seeing that
So
movie
good.
since becoming a dealer, I'm like that guy. I'm sitting there watching it, and I'm like, okay, that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong. Why is he focusing so hard on the ace? A 9 will give him a higher straight flush. It'll work just as good. He's open-ended.
That's funny.
So we got a couple of flush draws right off the bat with this flop. And not much else. Everybody else just has some paint they're looking to pair.
It looks like Paul hits the
Paul,
gutter ball.
yeah, Paul hits.
But again, nobody raised pre-flop, so we're just looking at a $10 pot, and it's kind of like, you know, you hit it. Good
and
for
with
you,
all those
but,
hearts out there, I'm not too confident
I mean, I feel great
in my
about
straight.
it.
So yeah, I would definitely not raise with it.
Matt, what year were you born? Probably like 81, 82, 70.
1759 was the year it happened. No, I'm just kidding. No, that was Brad Pitt in Interview with the Vampire. No, 76
Oh, okay.
for real.
You're doing pretty good.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have guessed it.
People don't believe I'm as old as I am, but
That's what I'm saying.
I joke around that I'm half vampire. Because I like to sleep late. I hate the light.
You
Love
suck-
my
you
steaks and
suck blood.
burgers. My steaks and burgers, I love them extra rare. I got these pointy ears.
Do you sparkle in the
That's
sunlight, or is that
No,
a different
and
breed?
nor do vampires. I mean, I guess technically they do for like a split second before they burst into flames.
I see you
There'd be a little bit of spark.
I see you take some Hollywoodized versions of vampires a little personal. I mean, I don't blame you, but
Well, no, I'm like sparkling in the sense that makes zero sense. I'm like, sure, it's a story, and you can, you know,
I mean, I don't think
Make up anything you want in a story, but sparkling in the sun. What?
I get it.
Next, you're going to tell me werewolves dance ballet.
I mean, we could only
Just
hope.
hanging out in the woods and they're just dancing.
We could only hope. Sounds like G-Man's all in. He's trying to win this $60 pot with tens.
He does have the best hand pre-flop, allegedly, because we got 2 mystery hands here.
And it doesn't look like he has 500 behind him, so I could be wrong. Are those black chips? Oh, those might be black chips.
Yeah, no, those aren't black chips. So looks like, no, he's got about 3 and change. No G-Man.
Yeah.
Got about 3 and change.
Nick might. Nick does fold. Nick called earlier with just a naked king. He flopped a king. G-Man flopped a king. And then they went runner, chop. But G-Man went all in on the flop for like 300 into a $100 pot with just king jack. Nick had king queen. And it took him a couple minutes to call, but he called because it was G-Man. And it was a great call, but then he went runner, chop. So
yeah, as a dealer, I don't like that.
What don't you like?
The other player turning up the card. And like G-Man said, it's okay to turn it up. I'm like, yeah, that's fine, but players should not be touching other players' cards.
Agreed. So it looks like we got that empty seat filled.
And the dealer, because we're just swapping dealers.
And we got Kevin in the box.
What a unique perspective. You know, when you lose a pot, you didn't just lose to the guy. He stole it from me. Like, and considering some of the bluff bets that I've seen on this table, I'm like, if there's anybody stealing, it's you.
Another reminder, guys, our Moneymaker Tour begins October 25th, and it goes through November 6th. Why don't you head on over to pbkennelclub.com or moneymakerpt.com for any in-house promo materials and just maybe check out what events we have. But it's our second go-around with the Moneymaker Tour, and the first one was a rousing success, and we know we're going to get a lot more of the same for this upcoming tournament. So come on down. We got different size tournaments ranging from 400 to 1,500. And Chris Moneymaker will be here. Some higher-end pros may also be here.
Yes, he'll be here. He's out for revenge.
Gene will be here.
His nemesis, Gene,
Dun, dun, dun.
our resident centurion.
You know, I was at the table where I was dealing the hand where Gene knocked out Moneymaker.
You dealt the hand?
I dealt the hand. So, good little story. Moneymaker raises pre-flop. Gene calls, somebody else calls. Flop comes all hearts. First position bets. Moneymaker goes all in. Flops like 3, 5, 10 of hearts. I'm sorry. Yeah. Moneymaker goes all in. The other guy folds, and it gets around to Gene. Gene looks at Moneymaker, and he says, "You shouldn't have done that." And he flips over ace queen of hearts.
I was going to say, he had a suited ace, huh?
And this was the second time that Gene had knocked out Moneymaker because he knocked him out in a previous tournament.
What?
And this was in the same series. And
Did he laugh at him Vegeta style?
he did not. I've only seen Gene laugh once, and it scared the bejesus out of me.
As it should.
It looks like Alex has an easy decision to. Well, it's not that easy. It's 100 into a 365. So he's getting about 3.5 to 1 on a double gutter call here. I don't really like the call here, but I wouldn't be surprised if he did call.
Yeah, I mean, he's pot committed at this point.
It's pretty close, yeah. 3.5 to 1 for one card to come. It's pretty close.
I mean, how much more is it to call? Like
100.
just under 100?
Yeah, about 100.
365. Yeah. I mean,
It's close.
you
It's right on
kinda
the line,
but it is tough.
I mean, you know you have to hit, and you know one of your cards being the 6 or 3 is probably not going to be any good. So
It doesn't matter what JJ has. You know you need to hit that
Right.
8 or 4.
Correct. It's actually a great check from JJ on the turn here to induce a bet from Alex with the worst hand. And then JJ's just a really good cash game player. He knows that just a smooth call doesn't do him any good.
Ooh, lays it down.
That's a tough one. It's a tough one to
It
call.
is tough.
You know, I'm probably calling there just because I have so much money already invested.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, without that first bet of his,
Yep.
it's an easy fold. It's a snap fold.
But again, you're getting 3.5 to 1 on a call, which, for those of you that aren't really sure what that means you have 3.5 times to make that call for it to be profitable. You only have to hit it 1 out of 3.5 times for that to be a profitable call. So I mean, I don't know. You think you're going to hit an 8 or a 4 3.5 times once out of 3.5 times? I don't know.
I'm just saying, for the money invested, though,
Hey,
I think I would have had to
you and I are on
spin
the
it.
same page.
Yeah.
You're, I don't like it, but I'm calling there. So.
Or even in at that point for 75 and then going all in on top of it. If I'm in for like 25, 30.
Now here's the real question:
Yeah.
Do you make that bet too? If JJ checks it to you and you're on the button, do you take a free card, or you try to win it right there?
I've seen some of the stuff JJ's done already, and if I was new to the table, I don't know. But if
Yeah.
I had seen him do some of them moves before,
You want to see a freebie?
yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
see a freebie because he shoved all in for like 160 with 6-3.
That's true.
With
yeah.
that, after I saw that move, I'm like, I'm gonna take a free card
Yeah.
against this guy.
All right, we got some playable hands here. Ooh, 4 playable hands.
Cedric, 2
Let's-
ladies at the same time.
Cedric doesn't slow play that.
Lucky
No
guy.
way. No way. Ced's
He
been doing this way
loves-
too long.
He loves the ladies, but do the ladies love him? We'll find out.
We will.
The ladies are fickle.
We're talking about the cards, ladies.
Yep, there's an all in.
Who went all in?
G-Man. 6-5 off suit.
Oh, G-Man. Bob is not happy with that G-Man move.
No, and
And actually, G-Man, or Bob, maybe not a terrible call here, because look, Ced's only going to be all in for 60. There you go. So at least you know there's going to be a side
Cedric's-
pot between you and G-Man.
yeah, Cedric's calling. I can't see him folding this.
Oh, he's definitely folding, or he's definitely calling, but he's just,
He's kind of cursing his
he's
luck
trolling
a little bit.
He's trolling a little bit.
All right,
Ace in the window?
to the flop. And
Oh my
that would
goodness.
be no.
That's a nice flop for 5-6 though.
And
He's gonna hold up. Ced's gonna hold up,
Ooh.
and then G-Man's gonna win the side pot with a pair of 5s.
yep. 2 pairs, 6s and 7s.
There's no. Of course, there's
Yeah,
a side.
side.
Oh, so is that why you bring in the bets first?
Nobody's got anybody unless you flop like a royal. Those last 2 cards could be anything. All right. Let's got to take care of Cedric, the ladies' man.
It's a lady.
Ladies' man. Now taking all your romantic queries.
You like that banana butt lotion?
What?
Banana butt lotion.
No.
No.
No, I was doing that Tim Meadows ladies'
So
man.
was I. The
Oh.
banana butt lotion.
Oh.
It's okay.
I didn't hear that one.
Well, it's probably been a while since you've seen it.
Yeah.
Who could forget Will Ferrell's take as a Greek Roman wrestler? How he didn't win an Oscar for that, I don't know. Ooh, with a lady.
King 10 for Bob.
Let's see if Cedric's going to ride the wave here. See, I'd like to see a raise there. Just get some of the riffraff out. Doesn't even have to be a big raise. Just 10, 15. Doesn't have to be 20 like the standard 20 these guys have been raising, but put
At
put some money in the pot. Get
There we go.
get all that trash out of there. That's all right. He knows G-Man will do it for him. Pete must be our new player. So Pete raised to 15 with an unknown hand. Cedric's flopping the best hand, I believe. I mean, unless Pete's got an overpair, which he very may well have, raising pre-flop. Ced checking, though. Being a little weary.
Turn card, a yak. It's hard to see who's ahead or what, because we don't know what Pete has.
I think Ced's going to win this with ace-9. I got a feeling Pete's got like ace-queen. Ace-9's good. Ced winning back-to-back hands. La da da dee, la da da da, la da da dee, la da da. So we got a raise here from Alex with ace-3 of hearts. Pete calling with jack-3 off. Not sure that's registering correctly because that doesn't seem like a $17 hand, but, you know.
On this table, you never know.
To each their own, but it does seem like a misread on the cards, don't you think?
We'll find out.
Could be a steam call from that last hand was said.
I don't know. That ace-3, not too bad.
On a rainbow flop, you bet your butt I'm c-betting. That says 2 clubs, but I thought it was a rainbow when I looked at it.
No, it's correct. I mean, the graphics scrambled them up, put them out of order, but yes, those are the 3 board cards. Yeah, see how the deuce is in the middle? On the actual table, and the graphics on the left?
Mm-hmm.
But it is 2-10-5. Dun, 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 dun.
No, I know it's 2-10-5, but I don't think there's 2 clubs on board. I think one of them is. It looked like a rainbow.
No, it's club.
And I am wrong again.
Done.
Well, if he's got jack-3, let's see if he's got jack-3 off with the 3 of clubs.
Ooh, the 5 of diamonds. That is a misread.
Yep.
So a pair of aces for Alex, and he's going to win that. Tray of clubs was a monster. Pete didn't have it. But anybody who did, shame on whoever folded it.
So when you guys go to Vegas for your honeymoon, you got any shows lined up, or you're just gambling the whole time, or what's your go-to when you go out there?
Well, her anniversary present is Adele.
Oh, well that's cool.
It better be for $800.
Holy smokes!
Happy
Happy anniversary, hun.
That's for just one ticket.
Wow.
Yeah, the show is actually in Caesars. So
Okay.
she's like, well, what do you do? I feel bad. I'm like, oh, gee, what am I going to do with myself for 3 hours in Vegas on the Strip?
You're leaving your wife to go see Adele by herself?
I'm not going to leave the building.
Well,
it's a college football Saturday, so I'm like, I'll probably just be over in the sports book.
Happy
Hanging out.
Happy anniversary, hun. Bye.
It's all about you. Well, I'm not an Adele fan, and she knows that. She just wanted to go to the show. It was like a bucket list thing for her, and I'm like, all right, I'll just hang out in the casino. When the show's over, we'll go back to.
We'll go back to the casino again.
No, we won't go back again. No.
Her residency is at Caesars?
Yeah.
Adele's right, yeah.
She's like, can we stay at Caesars when Adele's there? And I'm like, I checked the prices. I'm like, no.
Are they throwing in your ticket?
Yeah, I was going to say. For that much money, we should get a room.
All right. We got a 6-6-7 flop. Should be pretty good for tens, unless Pete has a weird
Yeah.
5-6 hand.
Which at this table would not surprise me.
Nah. And he checked tens for some unknown reason.
Right. And now it's going to bite him.
Yep.
See, now with an ace, now you have to check it.
I got a feeling G-Man's going to put in a bet here. Oh, no. Why do you miss your spot?
A lot of
Everyone's
missing spots
checking
this
to
round.
you.
So the tens are the best. I mean, unless
Unless
Pete's sitting on
got
an
something,
ace.
Yeah. And Bob finally
six.
realizes it, but it's a little too late. You're not going to get any
Yeah.
value. I mean, you're still going to
No.
win the pot, but you would have won anyway if it's the best hand. So same result, but I don't like the way it was played. But you know,
Yeah, he needed a bet on the
flop.
on the flop there.
And you know the best part of betting on that flop, you're going to find out real fast if someone's got
Yeah.
trips.
Like if
you
somebody
know?
calls you or raises you, it'd be all like, oh, okay, there's that ace king over there.
Yep. No, but sometimes people are so worried about getting re-raised, they're afraid to bet their own hand. You know. Can't be scared in this game.
Don't be scared.
Don't be scared. You all right, Joey? Are those blue blockers?
He's contemplating the meaning of life and his place in the universe. What did he say? I didn't hear him. Oh, okay. Personally, I'm with Patriots fans, their place in the universe. I'd be good with their place in the universe if I was them.
No, he's pretty happy.
They sucked perpetually for 50 years, and then they just could not frickin' lose for 20, and they're probably gonna suck for another 50. Right.
No, it's definitely a different end of the spectrum.
Like I was just born too late. If I'd been born 10 years earlier, I would have seen all them Super Bowls by the Dolphins and the perfect season, and I'd have been like, so what if they suck? I was there for perfection.
Yeah, but you've gone through so much nasty down seasons, and now you're seeing this team at its peak.
Yeah, I mean, if I could have been a part of that season, I said that would have been special, and it would have been well worth the wait for them to be good again. Besides, the Finns can right a great wrong in the football universe if they win it all. Marino's in the front office. Marino will finally get a ring if they win it all.
Oh, what's his job title? I didn't even know he was working
He
with
is
the team.
VP of Football Operations.
No kidding.
Yeah,
Wow.
Marino will he's eligible for a ring if the Dolphins win it.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
And you know what? I normally don't agree with if, ands, or buts, but probably the greatest quarterback of all time to not win.
It's
Super
not a
Bowl.
question. There's zero. I mean,
Well,
you can
I'm-
debate the greatest QB of all
Well, listen,
time.
Jake
but-
Delhomme didn't win a ring, and he's up in the echelon of greatest quarterbacks of all time to not win. Matt, I'm just kidding. It's a joke.
yeah.
It's a joke. It's a joke. You don't have to take it all for face value.
I wish
It's,
the camera could have seen that. I just gave him the.
I know. I know.
That stare that Christopher Reeve gave Ned Beatty when Lex Luthor told him to take his cape. I don't think he wants me to, Mr. Luthor. We just gave him that look.
See, I get those references. I get old school Superman references. I don't think he wants me to, Mr. Luthor. God, Ned Beatty was great in that too. It's such a random role, but he actually did crush it.
Takes a lot of talent to play the buffoon.
It actually
really
does.
well.
It actually
Yeah.
does.
All right, we got Wow. Again, the flop misses everybody, but there's some good draws out there, though.
JJ's going to check that open-ended.
I wouldn't.
We got some back doors. Everything else kind of missed. I wouldn't either. On a flop like that, I'm betting that
Because
all day.
then that happens. See, now you're at, that other player's mercy. He already has pretty much control of the board.
And he's got position.
With that position, that's
Yep.
what I mean.
Yep.
And
You know how he's got all the back doors. How he says, I'm going to take a little shot here, see what happens. Little deuce of clubs, bink.
Ooh.
So now we're going to find out who wants it the most. And again, from JJ's position in the small blind, I'm betting there. I'm betting that all day. You know Bob doesn't have a 3 or a 5. Howie might have one of those hands, but I mean,
yeah, he's
I'm
all
still
around
betting
king,
to find
king
out.
4, just king 3 or king 5, definitely in his range. But he checked, so. And the answer is okay.
JJ, just one time, buddy. Come through. Come through. Everyone else has been checking. I think JJ can make this bet.
Yeah, well,
I think JJ's good enough
Bob's
to make this
not
bet.
going away. Bob's not folding.
Oh,
that.
Bob did hit a queen, didn't he?
Yeah, he's like Bob's not folding that.
He
He's like,
might. He might. Cause oh wow, he snapped.
No, he snapped. He's
Well,
like,
he might though, because what's JJ have?
like,
You know?
he's like, if you've got the 3 or 5, congratulations,
Sure,
bro, it's yours.
And it was a small enough bet too.
But,
it was
yeah,
a small enough
he'll,
bet.
he'll definitely see
He
it.
needed a big bet there. He needed a $100 bet there to let that go through.
Right.
And even then, you're right. Bob still might be calling, but
Like with a 3 or 5, like on the flop, maybe. But and that's the thing. Another reason you bet on the flop, if you're him, then you
you
can
can still
put
rep
out the
it. You
big
can
bet.
still
And be
rep
like,
it.
well, he bet big when it was 3-3-5, so
Yep.
maybe he's got a 3.
Yep.
And he was the small blind, so maybe he's got that 3, like ace 3, king 3, or something. See, the bet he made on the river, he should have made on the flop. That hand, I think, would have gone very differently.
I agree.
And they really can't hear that table talk.
I swear,
On
it's
the
crazy.
video?
It's crazy, yeah.
It's very loud.
I can hear you on YouTube, but I can't hear them.
I've become that meme. X for doubt. I mean, it could be something in the software where it's not picking up those mics specifically. I don't know. I do know I'm not nearly tech savvy enough to diagnose or fix the problem myself.
Listen, I'm lucky enough that I was able to turn on the computer and sign into Twitch and everything else
Right.
without Sal.
I mean, I would have done it, but I didn't know.
You didn't know?
It was right.
Listen, I just hope
at
Sal's
1:30.
okay because he was sent on that special mission hours ago, and we haven't heard from him. So I just want to make sure he's got the support he needs.
Well,
So,
I happen to know the nature of his mission, and he's fine.
well, you're kind of ruining the mystique, but I mean,
Actually, I'm building up the mystique.
no, you literally just ruined it. All right, back to the poker.
But it will
Not
be a very
much going on
long
here.
mission, so I would not expect Mr. Sal anytime soon.
Oh no. G-Man with the gutter ball and also the best hand. Yeah, all in for a $12 pot. Why not? Why not?
It's like, are you new to the cash game? On yesterday's show, I mentioned that this is going to be the last cash game live stream for a while because we got the Moneymaker Tour
Right.
starting next week.
Right.
And I said, so there's bound to be plenty of action. Apparently, the players heard me because they're like, last one, come on, we got to get it in. We got to mix it up.
Wow, he called 150 on that flop with Jack
with a
4.
flat tire.
Wow. Wow.
Fearless.
I mean,
Utterly fearless.
that's nuts. Even against G-Man, I mean, it's still nuts.
Right. Because it's highly unpredictable. He's got the stone cold nuts or
I mean,
10 high.
even Jack 10. Even Jack 10's
Yeah.
got you crushed, you know? It's crazy. You going back to work after this, or you heading out?
No.
Oh, that's right, Panther game. Well, I didn't know if you wanted to
Opening
deal a couple
night,
more hands. I didn't know
man.
if you wanted to deal a couple more hands, you know?
No, when they're doing the banner ceremony. And
Who they playing?
There's Toronto.
The Blue Jays?
No.
I'll be here all week, guys, right after NG Dice Clay.
No,
Pretty good
the,
flop for 8-9.
The fan base who so confidently, after they won a playoff series after almost 20 years, decided to go out into the streets and chant, "We want Florida."
We
And
want
then they
Florida
got-
what?
No, because that's who they wanted to play next.
Oh,
After
okay.
Toronto chanted that because they were so confident after beating the Lightning in the first round. They chanted, "We want Florida." And, well, they got Florida, and they got a 4-1 smacking.
Speaking
Once again-
of smacking, we got 2 flushes here on the turn with 2 pair. Pete's not going to like this.
Proving the old adage, be careful what you wish for. You might get it.
So then Florida beat Toronto
4-1. Yep.
Do you think they stopped chanting that?
Oh, they're back for revenge tonight. I fully expect the Snowbird contingent of South Florida to be there looking for revenge. They won't get it.
Pete, you're not going to like what you see.
This is the old term, read 'em and weep.
I'll never forget it. I moved out to Vegas 2005. One of the first cash games I played was a 10-25 game, and a lot of money on the table. I had
Yeah.
about
You better have some bank to sit at
I did,
that
yeah.
game.
I had about 4,000 in that game, maybe a little more than that. And first hour, I flopped the second nuts in the big blind. It's just me in the small blind. Flop comes deuce 3 ace. Deuce 3 ace of diamond. No. Deuce 6 ace of diamonds. I had queen 5, I think. Queen 5 of diamonds, and Buddy had king whatever, king 7, king 8 of diamonds. But it's just the two of us. We
Ouch.
both limped. We both flop a flush. I flop the second nuts. It ends up being a $9,000 pot. I'm like, damn, I hate Vegas.
Damn.
I'm coming
Yeah.
home.
It comes like that.
It comes like that. It's weird that I remember that hand from almost 20 years ago, but I don't remember what I had for dinner last night.
It's not weird at all. The poker world is full of such sad stories and bad beat stories.
If Pete didn't swap seats, he'd have had the queen high flush. You know what?
It's true.
Nude nut.
It's true.
You are on point. I never switch seats at a table like that, at least not to switch up my luck. 'Cause I'm just
Yeah,
a big
it's-
proponent of that means nothing.
It doesn't.
It matters
happen.
not where you sit. It matters how you play your hands. And
Cards
know.
come that come.
Yep.
But I notice a pattern. The people that do switch their seats to change up their luck also think the dealer just gives them bad cards.
I had a guy at my table, and I won't tell you his name because I'm sure you know who he is.
I'll probably guess.
Yeah.
I'm not going to guess out loud. Don't worry. I'm not going to do that on the show.
I didn't even deal 3 or 4 hands, and he got, man, this dealer always did me. This dealer, every single time, I should have just sat around and waited. What am I still doing here? What are you, man, I'm just going to go sit out and wait till you leave.
I know exactly.
Bro.
What you mean, because
Bro.
I hear that too. So
It's like, first of all, I may have, like, dealt you one hand where you got beat, but, you know,
Right.
you beat yourself. I don't beat you, you know.
yeah,
But
dealers.
you just sit there and smile.
a big
Smile
part.
and nod.
A big part of our job for the audience is that when we hear stuff like this, we can't say anything back. So when they say, "Oh, you did that. You put that on the river," now you want to say, "Well, who's the guy who called 90 on the turn, needing a gut shot?
Mm-hmm.
Did I make you do that?"
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we're not allowed to say that.
No.
So we don't.
No, that would never end good.
I think it very loudly. But they'll go and they'll call that bet with that hand and then blame you when they lose.
Nude Nut, man, we appreciate you chiming in. First time chat, and I'm a big fan of Twitch letting us know when the first time these guys
Your first time,
chime in.
Your first time is always special, so it deserves some recognition.
Twitch knows this. Oh, it looks like G-Man is permanently off this stream. When I say permanently, I mean just for today.
I was gonna say, like, what did
just
he do?
permanently for
Yeah,
today. He didn't.
You gotta pull. You gotta pull something. That's all Josh is always watching, and I'm sure if somebody did something, he
No,
pulled
he'd be
them
on it.
aside, he'd be all like, "Okay, you're
He'd
done."
be on it.
We don't play that on this show. Family-friendly show, kind of.
I mean, it's as far as poker goes, it's pretty family friendly.
I mean, we do have mics on the table, and we can't really stop them if the players curse a bunch.
Again, I'd be really interested to know if, and if you guys are listening on the chat right now, tell us if you can hear the players, because we can hear them in our headsets, but I'm not sure how easily. Oh, of course, the queen gets binked.
Yeah.
But let me know if
Hits
you
the
guys
gut
can hear the
shot.
table talk, because on YouTube you can't hear it, but on Twitch I'm very interested.
I'm interested in this.
All right.
No player chat. Yeah. Okay. Appreciate the chime, Nude.
Okay. Yeah, that's
That's something we got to work. We
Mr.
got to
That's
work
All
out on the
Josh,
audio.
if you're listening, and of course you're listening because you're always listening. Maybe we can look into that because I've got all the
Thanks,
all the
G-Berry.
machinery's on and.
Yeah, and
everything's
again,
working
we can hear him.
normally.
We can hear him perfectly in our headsets. But when I went back and watched the previous video on YouTube, I heard nothing. So if you guys can't hear it either, that's something that we can turn up a little bit, I think. If that's something Tall Josh wants to do, and if not, if he doesn't want to do it, he gets what he wants or doesn't want. All right, we got some playable hands here. Looks like Alex raises to 12. I got a feeling said JJ are going to call. Everyone's got a little piece here. Said with top pair, Alex with a pair and a gutter ball, JJ with a straight draw and a backdoor flush draw. Super blank. Alex picks up a flush draw.
Yeah, that is true, G-Berry. But usually with our cash games and a lot of the players know each other, it's pretty good table talk.
Yeah, yeah, agreed.
Most of the time in tournaments, yeah, it's either totally silent or really not much, going on out there. But at the Thursday cash game, there's some good stuff.
I like this value bet from Said. He also might be trying to phase out maybe kings with smaller kickers if he thinks he might be in for a chop.
Yeah, but
I like this bet.
Alex was on a draw. He had all kinds of draws, but he missed all of them, so can't imagine he'll call.
No, the only thing he can do here is fold or raise, and even if he raises, Said only has 100 behind into this pot. I don't know if he's really folding the way this hand was played. I mean, you're not putting Alex on a 3. You're definitely not putting him on a flush.
Well, he does call.
Yeah, I don't like the call there.
Yeah, 2-pair.
Especially with a guy like Said, who, I mean, you ever really see him bluff? Not too often.
Very
He's a
rarely.
Pretty
yeah,
solid
I was
player.
say.
Pretty solid.
He'll steal one every here and there, but.
Yeah, I don't think we would necessarily want the volume up fully on this table, but I could see raising it up just a little bit, just to kind of hear what they're talking about sometimes.
Should have been here in the early days of our show, when we only had cash, and some of the games with a certain group of players.
Got a little animated.
There'll be times when whoever was commentating, we could just be quiet for like 15, 20 minutes.
Right.
No one would notice. And then we come back, we're like, whoa, I can't believe he hit that river.
G-Berry, I feel you, man. We love the poker room. You're going to have a wide array of quote-unquote jerks, but you also get a.
That's everywhere in life. I
Yeah.
mean, most people are going to be cool, and then the
And
jerks come in.
And you know what's funny in the poker room? You are getting everybody from every walk of life.
Right.
Rich, poor, black, white, funny, not funny, serious, not serious. As long as we keep religion and politics out of it, you can talk
Right.
about whatever you want.
New nut. There is a $2 button blind in 1-2 no limit here at PBKC. That's why you may see chips on the button occasionally. It's just an expression. I personally don't like it when the player puts their button blind on the button. It's just an expression. I'm like, dude, I got to reach over there and knock it off and then bring it in. Stop doing it. Just put it out in front of you.
Yeah, basically that blind on the button, it's just to ensure there's always going to be action. There's never going to be a chop pre-flop. They're never going to, there's always action.
That and G-Berry for you. The vibe can change, though.
No problem, Nut.
Right. And what I mean by that is it could be a pretty chill table, but then somebody will win a hand, and then they'll win another hand, and then they start with the obnoxious stuff about how great they are, and I'm like, and the guy has been there for like an hour, So the vibe is fluid, I think.
Wow, we got Queen Jack to fold here. That's impressive. And it looks like Queen's up is going to hold.
Yeah, Queen Tray. Folded Queen Jack. That shows discipline.
Yeah.
They do say folding is the toughest skill to master in this game.
Listen, if you know when to fold, and obviously it's
If you start singing Kenny Rogers, I swear to God.
Listen, if you know when to hold them, know when to fold them, just
Yeah.
know when to walk away, and then you just need to know when to run, okay?
Yeah, you need to run right now. I hope you know that. We have a pretty good sound system here at PBKC. They've added some variety to the playlists, so that's good. But despite that, in 15 years, I've never once heard "The Gambler" by Kenny Rogers.
Weird.
And no, that's a good thing. I think it's been blacklisted.
You remember, speaking of Maverick, you remember the song when they're on the riverboat? Good Run of Bad
Which
Luck.
one? Okay, yeah.
Which I think is that also Kenny Rogers? Maybe.
I don't think so.
When I'm running a good run of bad luck, 7 come 11.
Yeah, I don't think that's Kenny Rogers.
Luck be a lady, and I'm gonna find some coming out the bottom line.
I'm not a big country music.
I'm not either.
I'm gonna guess the Charlie Daniels Band.
Let's find
It
out.
doesn't sound like Kenny
Good
Rogers.
run of bad luck is Clint Black.
Clint Black. Okay, see, I'm wrong.
But you know what, though? It's okay to be wrong because,
I'm like, no, that wasn't Kenny Rogers.
listen, it's all the same, and you know this. Oh, my goodness. Nick's flopping a monster against pocket aces.
High hand, table 67.
Holy smokes. JJ's got top pair. Howard has the real top pair. And then Nick has the real 2 pair. 5s and 5s.
Oh, God.
See what I did
I
there?
really hope he doesn't say that.
God,
Like, even
Maverick's such a good movie.
Even as a joke, if I hit a high hand at a poker table, I would never do that.
Never.
I just turn him up and say, oh, high hand.
Never.
Is that high hand dealer?
I can't think of anything more cringe
wow.
than that. JJ, come on, buddy. You played so good this whole time, and I understand.
Let's see. Running ace king or running aces.
And then Howard's never going anywhere. Howard's never going anywhere. Wouldn't matter. It's got to be quad tens. It wouldn't matter. It's got to be.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's why I said.
Well, I'm telling it to him. I'm telling it to the world
Okay.
who's listening.
Yeah.
I know you know.
There is a chance that we could have a mini here.
What's the qualifications for a mini?
Aces full of kings beaten by quads or better. So if the run out is ace king, that's a mini. If the run out is aces, it's a mini.
Or king king, right? Because
Well, no. One of the kings is dead, so it's not going to come king king. Well, no, that and also JJ would. You have to have a pocket pair for quads to count. So king king will not count.
okay, so
All
your
right,
second. Oh, that's so gross. So
aces
gross.
full of queens beaten by quads.
Unreal.
So that is
a tough one. Howie didn't even show the aces. Do you notice that? Didn't even show them.
Didn't even show him.
He said, of course. Of course I had aces. What else would I have?
That's the last mini I saw. And I know because I dealt it. It was pocket aces versus pocket kings. Ace, king, king, right on the flop. No,
So, G. Barry, our bad beat is actually quad tens beat by something better, and both cards have to play in your hand. So quad tens is the minimum for a bad beat
Yeah,
to qualify.
for the mini, it's aces full of queens beaten by a quad or better, and he had aces full of fives beat by a quad. So
Right.
also not a mini bad beat. Probably why Howie didn't show it. If it was a mini, it had been like bam, and it would come right over.
I bet it
Well.
all on a good run of bad luck. 7 come
So
11, and you wouldn't
did I
get
hear what the
mine.
high hand was? I thought I heard somebody say quad kings.
I don't know. All I heard was them say high hand on here, but I think they
Right.
looked up and they realized it was probably beat.
Okay. Yep, our stream table does count for our high hand promotion if you hit it, which is why I had some hope for the quad fives.
Bing bong.
But that was crazy. Like I said yesterday. I said, "Hey, you guys tune in to the Thursday cash game. Last chance for
Last
a live
chance for a stream
cash
cash.
game.
Yep.
Yeah, for a while.
Yep.
The live stream cash game on Thursdays will be back 3 weeks from today.
You know, I really enjoy commentating on the 1-2 cash game here, but I am really looking forward to this Moneymaker tour.
Oh, it's going to be insanity.
It's just high level play. Most of the tournaments are deep stacks. We're gonna have just the level of play is just it's top notch.
The only real criticism I have is
I can't wait.
we can't play.
Oh, that is actually legit criticism. Yeah.
It's like
Agreed.
if the dealers could all agree to like take off a certain day to play a certain event, and we'd all like rotate. So because I'd like to.
I would take a
Joey-
1 month sabbatical. I already talked to him about it. He's not okay with
Joey,
it.
yeah, I know. Joey, he described what did he call it? They're just going to stop the game and do a chip chop at a certain level.
Okay.
And I'll be like, so it essentially becomes like a Survivor type game. And I'm like, you know what? I'd like to play that game, actually.
We have 7 players coming to a flop at about $15 a pop. Flop
You can
comes
always
ace, king,
tell
7.
when the graphics get real small.
Yeah.
All the aces are out.
Yep.
So pocket aces. Nobody has a king to go
Looks
with
like
it.
Pete's got the best of it
Pete's- yeah,
here with
Pete's
aces.
leading.
We got 3 players who flop top pair. Everybody else has some backdoors, but everyone's got a little.
Bob's got a gut shot.
Sed's got a backdoor. He's gonna fold. Bob's folding the
All right,
gutter.
now we can see the hands.
Yep. Wow, one of the aces folded. Good fold.
But we can't play, but you sure can.
Yeah, guys, come on down. Like I said,
We got all the info at pbkennelclub.com.
Moneymaker Tour starts October 25th and it runs through November 6th. Our main event is $1,500. Our first bounty tournament is a $400 buy-in, $200K guaranteed. We will crush that. We will crush that $200K guaranteed. And for every bounty
right.
you have collected, when you get knocked out, you got a chance for
Three-way
our
all-in
mystery
action.
bounty.
Alex needs an 8.
Ace Jack is
Aces
going to
with
hold.
a jack. He's not going to get all the money, but he's going to get most of it.
Well, he only cares about the money that he's eligible for, really.
Right. That's. Talk about the excuse. Oh, I got to go pick up my kid after winning a big pot. Players hate that.
Oh, I got to go pick up my wife at the airport.
Yeah. I did that last time I went down to our competition, who shall not be named.
What'd you say to him?
But no, I mean, I sat down with 200, waiting for my 2-5, and it just never came because they only had one table. So I got up to 800, and then they finally called me, and then my phone goes off, and I had lost track of time. It was like 1:30 in the morning, and it was my wife
I hope
texting
so.
me that, where are you? What happened? Because normally I come right home after the hockey game, but I stopped by to play cards for a little bit. But I just went on a heater. So I went, oh, I'm sorry, I lost track of time. I'm at the poker room. that I won't name on our show because they can plug their own show or, plug their own room, get your own show. But I said, no, I'm here. I'm up 600, and I just lost track of time. I'm like, but I'll cash out now. And I'm like, oh, guys, I'm so sorry.
Oh, I gotta
take
go. That was
these
my wife.
racks.
That was my wife. I gotta go.
Yeah, I gotta go. It's 1:30. I gotta work tomorrow. I gotta take baby girl to school.
I
They're
remember.
like, yeah, right. And I'm like,
I remember years and years and years ago when people would cash out their chips and then go to another table.
yeah.
We would shame them.
Yes.
We would actually shame them, and there's never been a rule against that. It was always looked down upon. It's the etiquette is terrible.
Yes.
To win however much, cash out, and then go sit at another table.
Yeah, that's
But it happens.
dirty.
It still happens. It's incredibly dirty. But I remember
is
back in the
dirty.
day, we would yell out across the room and shame them. And you know what? That's what you get.
I could never do anything. I mean, I can get up after winning a boatload.
Get up and
then
leave,
like,
but
yes,
you don't get up
leaving.
and
Right.
reset and rebuy for another 200 somewhere else and pocket 1,000.
Okay. I mean, I kind of
Listen,
did that.
listen.
I kind of did that once, but
Listen,
I
I'm
was
old.
playing-
I'm old school, and I have a big mouth, so I let everybody know about it. I will call you out from across the room.
they're gonna take our money and run. But because I don't like to wait to play, and if 2-5's full, I'll play some 1-2 until it opens.
Sure,
I'm like,
of
okay,
course.
so I've done that. I've gotten up off.
No, it's
1-2.
different. No, it's a totally different
and took
ballgame.
the money, and
That's
but
a totally
I-
different.
I
it's,
bring
it's a
it with
different
me
table,
to the 2-5 game.
right? But it's a different game, literally. So
They're like, I want a chance to get my money back. I'm like, well, go on the list. Come over. I'm going to this 2-5 game. See you
Right.
there. But no, to get up and play the same game, no, I'm never doing that.
a nice little $16 raise from Paul with Jack 10. We're gonna see a flop. I see some paint, which Howie might like. Ooh, top 2 for Howie.
Top 2. I'm like, I was gonna say he will very much like that.
Who's coming out betting here? Nick coming out betting with Zilch. And Howie's going to raise, and that's going to do it, I believe. So Nick does not have ace-4. Oh, that's Alex, and he has queen-6, and he's calling with just a 6. Crazy. What up, T-Dog? How you doing? Oh, you know.
Yeah, Howard's like, I want all the money. I need to double up.
Oh, that's a bad card.
Yeah, that is a terrible card. I know many of the old phrases, and one of them right there, there is nothing worse than drawing dead and getting there.
Hey, Puffy, welcome to the chat. And yes, the Moneymaker Tour is coming, and we will have plenty of dealers, plenty of
Yeah.
tables, plenty of action.
Because they won't let us play. That was the biggest thing.
Yeah,
We're going to have enough dealers. I'm like, not if they let us play.
yeah, Puffy, you missed that entire conversation, and be glad that you did, because it was basically just me and Matt complaining that we couldn't play.
Well, they have enough dealers now.
Hmm.
I wasn't like approached like directly, but management made their feelings known
Even if you're
about
on
the volunteer. They're like,
even if you're on stream, they want you to.
we let you go. We're letting you go to Vegas. Yeah, you better volunteer for that whole second week string of tournaments. They didn't
Well,
say
you
that, but
you
that
specifically, I get it.
that
for sure.
was the gist. They're like, we did you a solid, and we really need a solid. So I'm like, all right, I'll do it. I don't know where I'm going to be for all these extra shifts. I might be here on the show. I might be dealing cash. I might be dealing tournament. We'll find out.
Well, I mean, in hindsight, that's a bad trade offer on your part and a bad turn down on your part. So you both messed up.
I offered him that the same week he got hurt because I thought he was going to come back, but he declined it. Thank God.
Trevor, I wouldn't be worrying about trade offers you made 2 weeks ago. I'd be worrying about dropping 2 games in a row if I were you.
It's whatever.
Oh,
Pete
okay.
Carey this
Well, unfortunately for Pete, both hole
Oh, you
cards
playing
must play
T-Dog?
for high hand.
Ooh.
He's got a gut. He's got a gut shot straight flush.
You do have the most points against you. Yeah, I know. It's pretty brutal.
You play everyone who just goes off.
I could put up a solid.
Alex trying to decide if he wants to chase this. He's just got a pair of fours. He's got a straight draw.
Yeah, Alex likes to play a lot of hands here, but this is not the one that I would choose.
Five
I
or
don't
four
think.
as long as it's not the five of spades. Seven of spades.
Pete improves, but he probably doesn't feel like he did.
No.
He still bet it though. Good for him.
He didn't just want just a spade. He wanted a very specific one.
He got one of them. Little does he know, any
spade
spade
would
would do.
done. I'm sure he was aiming at the five, but actually the five of spades would have been a filthy card because it would have given Alex the straight. So he probably would have got action on a straight flush.
Yep.
As long as he didn't bet too much.
Yep.
That's a good trade either way. So
Yeah, it was
he's probably good at running back.
whatever I wanted to do.
Did you guys see Puka only put up 4 points last week? Looks like that cup trade's looking pretty good so far. Just saying. It happens. It happens. I mean, he didn't show it last week.
All right, here's Bob with aces. Doing what you should do with
He's a first
aces.
rounder. Cup's a
You got to
first
thin
rounder.
out the herd a
If
bit.
we redraft today, is Cup a first rounder? Yup. Yup.
JJ.
First rounder? Nope.
Uh-oh. Here comes Alex. Wow, three
Is he a
pocket
first rounder
pairs
right now if we redraft?
so far. A's, trays,
Trevor, you are
snowmen.
not taking him in the first round.
And he goes all in.
Well, you know, it's not a first rounder. Chubb,
Agreed.
Garrett Wilson.
They weren't first rounders anyway.
Garrett Wilson was. That was his first pick.
All right, one of the trays
Second,
is
basically.
gone. That's bad news for JJ.
No, I had the swoop. Did you?
He did go Wilson first. I was like,
Yeah, JJ makes the smart fold. He was in third place, and one of the threes was already gone. It's aces versus snowmen. Yep. Okay, nope. And there's the run out. Aces and tens. Bob is going to
I'm
felt
happy for
Alex.
Zach Wilson. He's playing better than anyone thought he would be.
I wish I had Zach Wilson in my team. No, fuck that.
Don't say that out loud.
Said the guy wearing a headset. Yep, a variation on my saying that. I mean, I'm sure I'm not the first one to come up with it, but from my point of view, I made it up. Garbage only turns into gold when you fold.
Garbage only turns into... Yeah. You might have actually been the first one to say that.
Because you hear that so often, like, oh, if only I played that 8-3, I would have gone runner, full house. Like, well, yeah, but
No, I don't think playing 8-3 is structured for long-term success.
yeah, you flop a 3 and then it goes running 3-8.
Man,
I
if
would-
only
I
I had
would
played that,
won,
I would have
yeah.
hit that. I just don't agree with all this limping with King, Queen,
Yeah.
Jack, 10. Just give me something. Raise to $7. Raise to 10. Put some money in the pot. Come on, guys.
Given the nature of this game, limping has only led to trouble.
And now you look at all this stuff you let
Yeah,
in.
look-
You
look at
let
those
Jack
straights
nines
and
in, straight draws
8-6. Look at that, 8-6
8-6.
is open-ended.
Come on. Even look, 7 deuce. Howie's in with 2 pair
Yeah.
now. It's gross.
If you make it 13 or 15, like you said,
Make it anything, and
Yeah.
those guys are folding.
Right.
Maybe not Jack 9, but 7 deuce is definitely out of there. Oh, and now you're going to call 20 with... I mean, come on. What are we doing? Howie just calling with 2 pair. Howie, I don't like it. I'll be honest. Now's the shove.
yeah, he needed to push.
Especially with position on the button.
Exactly. It's Oak Tie saying hello.
Oak tie. What's up, buddy?
Paul, let's go with that gut
Howie
shot.
just calling again. Let's see.
I have no idea what Bob has, but he called. So
Probably a flush draw.
I don't think he has an ace.
Ooh, and there you go, Howie. That's why Never mind.
Dun, 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 dun. 75.
Well, we're gonna find out if Bob has a flush draw here, which he could have 9-10.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and bet against that. Don't show him, Pete. Don't give him the satisfaction of knowing they made a good fold. Don't do that.
Guys, it's neither one of those guys. Christian McCaffrey's a cyborg. He's gonna play. He's gonna play. He's gonna play. And let me tell you something, Elijah Mitchell, Buddy is a better running back than Mason. He just hasn't been healthy. Yeah. Trust me, if Mitchell's healthy, he's gonna play. He's gonna get at least half the.
If he plays, he's gonna get 60-40. He's gonna get 60.
Mitchell? Yeah, I agree.
They drafted Mitchell
Yeah.
like 3 years ago. He was a workhorse before they had McCaffrey. He just can't stay healthy.
Mason looks good that game.
He did. Minnesota's got a good run D though. They got a good run D. Not a good secondary. They got a good run D though. Not that anyone is good against the San Fran rushing offense. They are just a well-oiled machine. I can't believe Cleveland stopped them. I know.
Womp womp.
I mean, they still relatively stopped them though.
Alex with 5s. Now, here's the other side of that, raising pre-flop instead of limping. I agree with everything you said, but 25 with 5s and 5 people call.
Right.
It's like it kind of encourages limping because you're never getting rid of anybody by
No,
raising.
I agree. Now with 5s, I think 25. I think that's a little ridiculous. You want to build a little pot, but you're not trying to represent aces with
I would have gone
5s.
I would have gone higher with
With
this table.
5s?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to play against 5 players. I want to play against 1.
Well, he's shoving.
Under normal circumstances, where the table isn't like crazy high action, yes, you're correct. I would agree with you. But
So what you're saying is it's all
calling,
relative.
right? I'm a big believer in playing the math, but at some point you got to play the people.
Yeah.
The math will betray you. Variance is a thing.
You think JJ's coming through with top here?
He seems to have trouble letting it go.
Well, no, this isn't JJ. This is
Oh, Pete. Okay.
yeah, this is P. I don't really know what he's thinking.
And that would be no.
I gotta go. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta go.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, jeez.
Yes, Alex is.
I wouldn't say that, but yes, he's very aggressive.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if the
Plays a lot of hands.
Whale is not the correct term. I don't think, but he's definitely
He's
aggressive.
up and down. I mean, he had like a stack in front of him, and then he'd go down, and then he'd get back up, and now he's been felted. He picked the wrong spot.
I mean, that's really one of the better flops you're going to see with 5s without hitting
Right.
a set. So
9,
I mean, I
5,
don't
4, yeah.
I don't have a problem with that bet right there.
But like I said, just how aggressive this table has been, it doesn't matter if he limps. It doesn't matter what he
Sure.
does. The flop comes, and he's beat on the flop with the 9. So at that point, the best you can hope for is to just mitigate the damage.
Yep.
But there's too much aggression at the table. There's no mitigating anything. It's all or nothing
Yep.
today.
Yep.
With the action.
Which is good. I mean, from our point of view, because that's
yeah,
what we want to see.
It makes for excellent television. For the players' bankrolls, not so much. Nick playing the Kennel Club hand, giving it the respect it deserves, and he's rewarded with top pair on the flop. Everybody keeps saying K9. No, but I said if you come on our show and you don't play our hand, we're going to mock you.
Yep. But if you play it, and if you play it correctly, you will flop top pair
Right, you'll
some of
win.
the time.
I kept stats. The Kennel Club hand was 7-1 yesterday on yesterday's show. Unfortunately, the one was somebody's all in, and it was tournament, so near the end, and he bubbled. So I was like, ooh, that one loss was bad, but hey, 7-1.
Hey,
7
7-1
wins.
though. Hey, and sometimes you hit top 2. I don't know where King 9 went though.
Yeah, didn't play, I don't think.
That's weird. He's trying to get in one more hand for
the high hand. Yeah.
No, we didn't take what you were saying as being rude.
No, not at all.
Not at
That's
all.
why I'm saying a whale. I'm like, it's not really accurate. But
Yeah, just the term whale usually means someone who's rich and
a lot of money,
yeah.
dead money.
Yeah.
And makes really bad moves.
Correct.
And just pays off the table.
No, we didn't.
I mean, there's not a lot of differentiation between those terms like fish and whale.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're
Sea
pretty
creatures.
similar.
Yeah, sea creatures are basically rich and willing to play.
Right. He's very aggressive, and he's hit some big ones too. So they haven't all been losses. But somebody like that's good for your table.
Agreed.
Everybody that plays 1-2 wants somebody like that at the table.
Absolutely.
And as much as you want them, you're also a little scared of them.
Uh-huh. You want it until you don't.
Right.
Yeah.
You want that player, but everybody gets sucked out sometimes, and it's a player like Alex that usually does it.
Yep. Yep.
Because you just can't get rid of him. Plays big pots, big hands.
And just for an example, because it's the most recent hand he played, with those 5s on a flop like that.
9-4-3. It's like,
I mean, that's a great flop. And maybe you have somebody with a spade draw who calls you, and then you double up to
Right, you get
600, you know? So it's all relative.
So
Not a good flop for JJ, but Rainbow
have-
Board, I got a feeling he's going to be coming along.
I don't know both Howard's cards, but one of them was a 4.
Well, then, at this point, he is no good. And Paul has a pretty good reputation of playing pretty snug, so this is an easy fold for JJ.
When he shoves like that, he doesn't have garbage. He's got something tasty.
Is that French for something?
Yeah.
Garbage?
Yeah.
Is that French-Canadian or?
Lousy cards.
Oh, okay. Props to Claudio for getting that hand in before the hand ran out.
Yeah. Hey, I do it all the time.
Oh, you have to.
I try
yeah.
to beat that countdown.
We're here for the players, man.
It's,
We're here for you guys.
that's how I got my high hand.
Just now, earlier? Nice.
It's like you got to hustle.
Did you get that on a straight 2 or a 1-2?
1-2.
Nice.
Flopped it. I was like, I'm just got to get the hand in and just ace-8. Guy had ace-8.
Guys, come on down. We got high hands running all day. We got $210,000 in the bad beat. We got all types of stakes. We got straight 2, 2-4, 1-2 no limit, 2-5. Probably got a pit game running right now, which is usually a 5-10. Sometimes they do 5-5-10.
Yeah, don't quote us on that.
Yeah, no quotes. I'm just saying,
It's pretty much what the players want.
It's relatively a private game, so they kind of go back and forth with what they want to do.
Sometimes
But
they do.
sometimes
I've seen
we
them
got
do 10-25 Omaha.
Yeah.
I've seen out of them.
Yeah. We usually have a private game going during the day as well. It's a high-low game, pretty high stakes, 25, 50 sometimes. Again, I'm not sure if it's being run right now.
Right.
But a lot of
Yeah,
times
I have
during
no
the day.
idea what the big game is right now.
Yeah.
'Cause I wasn't over there. I was
But guys, come on,
on
down.
the wall.
We got TVs everywhere. We got the dogs running.
We do? Wow.
Well,
We don't have
on
them.
TV.
Thanks, PETA. But they're running up in West Virginia and Arkansas. But you can bet on them still.
Bet on them anywhere you want. Here. So look, I said we got 3 pairs for the 4-5. 3 aces usually beats 3 pairs, depending on the dealer.
Like, kind of home game you've been playing in.
I'm not allowed to say on air, but I'll tell you
Yeah,
later.
Okay, it's where that plays. I'm like, were you playing down in Tijuana? Where ace high beats a straight flush. Tijuana rules.
Wait till later. If I get a percentage, then I'm down. Oh, you know it. All right, guys, I'm gonna take a quick break. I'll be right back.
And I either give it to Terry or Terry.
Terry, you want some of that?
Hey, I asked him first. Sorry, dog.
I don't mind.
All right, Bob with the hockey sticks. This is Bob. Bob is raising to 15.
Josh Allen's out? What?
All right, Howard with ace queen, not bad. Bob's got sevens. He's going to be a little disappointed if he finds out Alex has a seven. Oh, wow. Alex flopping the straight right off the bat. Alex is thinking. He definitely wants to get paid after. Oh, wait. Check, check. 35. Alex, of course, he's still going to think. Can he get Bob to call a raise is the big question.
Alan said Wednesday that there's no concern with paying him over.
So he raises to 55. Bob has 2 overs to his sevens and a gutter. Gut shot straight draw for a chop. All right, Alex is going to call this. There's only 1 7 left in the deck. And normally I'd say it wouldn't help, but actually it won't help. He needs a 6, not a 7.
I played in a high school football.
Now, Alex is looking to get paid. So he's taking his time on what to bet. Yep, no hesitation. No more milking it. Bob is either going to call or he would fold to any bet. Flop in the straight. Yep.
And he stops and yeah, that was Lamar Jackson. No, I know. I'm saying that was against Village Academy. I played against him. I was insane. Where'd Lamar go to school? Point Beach.
Yeah, he went from Quayton, man.
Yep.
All right, now we see our VPIP and Alex, shocking no one, the top of the VPIP at 70%.
I think he was born in
As we keep saying, he's very aggressive. He's in a lot of hands. Stays in a lot of hands.
Patriots. Bro, last pick. Baltimore traded up. When you knew Lamar Jackson.
Didn't take him, or like he's gone. He's the most overrated quarterback in the NFL.
Stop. What is he not doing this year?
21 blackjack style, says Alex. Alex has the hockey sticks this time.
No. Listen, in the last 2 games
And
combined.
I don't think there's an amount Howard won't call when he's looking down at ace-king. Pre-flop, anyway.
Doesn't matter, bro. Doesn't matter, bro.
With nobody in his face, he's throwing it to dirt. Third and short, throwing out little dunk passes. He can't even.
Yeah, Paul, he seems pensive with that 9-7, but he'll see a flop anyway.
Has any weapons? He's gonna be good.
Can't even get it to him. You guys forgot. He can't even get it to him. He's a great runner.
All right, with sevens, yeah, I was going to say it looks like Alex is going to put out a small feeler. Howard, very aggressive, perhaps overly so. A bet that just screams, I have a king. I think Howard might have been able to milk him a little bit if he just flats there.
Yeah, accurately. He can throw it deep accurately. He has an accurate deep ball. Yes.
It's not accurate. It's deep. He's got a cannon.
But there were to be fair, there were 2 other players behind Howard on that one. So he may be thinking take it down now.
Hey, he throws all the screens to Zay Flowers.
Bro, you got Lamar everywhere. I thought you had him in
You need to go get Hal if he's available.
Justin Fields terrible to start the year. Had 2 great games.
And now
then fucked up his hand. I'm like,
dislocated thumb. that just takes away DJ Moore, bro. Because that motherfucker ain't going with Tyler Saget.
I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? You know what? I don't care. Boy, you're on the bench, bro. Sorry.
Yeah, dude, absolutely.
Moore's like the most inconsistent fantasy player of the last. He's awful at home.
Bro, but he's doing so good right now with Fields. Once I got the timing down, he's doing so good.
I still don't trust DJ Moore.
No, I don't trust him now, but I'll trust him when
And to the flop we go with this one.
Joe, you're getting smoked.
Bob gets the top pair with his kings.
Bro, I don't even know if Nate seems that good.
2 hearts and an ace out there, so a little hesitation here on the table, checking around.
No one scores points against him. I could have won.
And I can't imagine that turn is going to help, because now the players might be wary of a 10.
I played Spurs last week.
I put Zach Moss on the bench again, dude.
A 6 does nothing to help anybody, so Bob's still leading with a pair of kings.
That's absurd, bro.
Taylor's going to take over.
He will. It just
Queens,
I don't know
kings,
if he
yeah.
will.
And there's Bob with a pair of kings, is going to win that one.
All right, guys, I'm back. I'm refueled, ready to go, ready to finish it out strong.
And nobody brings me any food.
Hey, you want some potatoes?
No, I'm kidding.
you got to save up for tonight. Do you
potatoes, eh?
do you have something special you like to eat at the games or?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
I'm going to show you this picture, buddy of mine. He,
It is. You can't tell the look on his face. He's glowing. He's glowing.
well, we started 1 and 2, so, you know.
I mean, it's better than 0-3.
Right, but in my feed, a buddy of mine, he sent the menu for food at the game this year. And when I find this, you're never going to believe it. Because I couldn't believe it when I saw it.
Oh, we got some playable hands here. We got a raise to 12 with ace king. We got a king jack suited calling, jack 10 of hearts. You know, I think I would like king jack of spades out of these winners. But, you know, instead we're going to have an all club flop. Nobody pairs up. We're going to see who wants it the most here. Ooh, ace of spades on the turn. Changes things a bit.
Oh, yeah, here we go. Yeah, there's the food menu for this season. Yeah, no.
Are you serious?
Yeah, that's in. Wow.
Bro.
So a buddy of mine sent that, and he said, "Yeah, I think the pregame ritual of Chick-fil-A is going to continue, huh?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah,
Brother, $23 for burger and fries?
Yeah.
Get out of town.
I paid $28 for a burger and tots at Gordon Ramsay's." It was a Wagyu beef topped with shredded brisket
Ooh,
and
pretty
tots
good, actually.
with truffle sauce.
Was it worth $30?
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, it was massive. It was like this because you had the Wagyu beef patty and then you had the brisket on top of it. It was huge.
I got to give Gordon Ramsay credit, man. His food, I've been to his
I was gonna
restaurants
say,
a couple
but
times. They're always incredible.
A regular beef burger at a hockey game for only a few bucks less? No, thank you.
No way. Give me my 20 count from Chick-fil-A, baby. You know, the more I listen to the conversation from these guys, the more I realize why our volume's probably turned down on the stream.
Yeah, that was some no. I don't think we would have gotten in trouble from Twitch, but
No, we wouldn't get in trouble for any of that. Not even YouTube. I mean,
I was
but
going to
still,
say
it's-
YouTube. Depends on how they're feeling.
No, because I'm pretty sure because we're not monetized, you can play whatever you want on there.
Yet, we're not monetized.
Yet.
Like, follow, subscribe. Help us get there, everybody.
Alex showing the bluff with Queen 6 off. Alex, we know you like to play a lot of hands, buddy. Your VPIP is top marks, 70%. Next is Howie, 65. Paul, 50. JJ, 47. Said, 34. Bob, 32. Alan, 26. But that's only just because Alan just got there. All right, guys. We got about a half hour to go. But hang out with us. Stick around. You got any questions, throw them in the chat. You got any jokes, throw them in the chat. In fact, why don't you tell us your favorite poker movie? Doesn't even have to be your favorite poker movie, your favorite gambling movie. Throw it in the chat. And if you say Rounders, it's pretty chalk, but I get it.
Maverick.
I mean, we have been talking Maverick a lot
Yeah, I
today,
know.
which I'm happy about because a lot of people haven't seen that. So I'm pretty happy about that, to be honest. I won't ruin the twist for you if you haven't seen it, but
Which one? It's
the
full of
one,
twists.
the one
Well,
at the
yeah,
end.
It's like
the
all
one.
sorts. You'll never
It
see.
is, you're right.
You'll never see anything.
The last
coming.
20 minutes is pretty good
Right.
as far as twists go.
I can't say how accurate it is to the TV show because I never saw the TV show.
Well, that's why you can't speak to it.
It was a '60s like Old West kind of show,
Right.
And that was the reference of James Garner being the marshal. James Garner was Maverick on the TV show,
Right.
But I guess he was too old, so they got Mel Gibson to play Maverick.
But then what a great twist at the end. you know?
Right.
Molly's Game, dude, coming through with the Molly's Game. Good call. You ever see that, Matt?
No.
It's great. It's redhead lady who, it's not Bryce Dallas Howard, but the other one.
The other one.
Yeah, the one that looks just like her. Bryce Dallas Howard. Who's the one that looks just like her?
I don't know.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't.
You do. I'm just telling you.
Like
you
if I
do.
saw her, I'm like, oh yeah, her. I know
Yeah,
her.
exactly. So anyway, it's based on a true story about this lady who runs her own poker game, high stakes poker game, and she had a bunch of celebrities in the game, and then obviously it gets out of hand, and the government gets involved.
It always
and
does.
It always. It's a great watch though if you're looking for like a poker movie and.
Nobody seemed to master get like a lot of money, be really successful quick, and then be all like, and then just before the feds come in, it's like get out.
Honestly,
Nobody seems to know how to get out before
this was based on
the hairy stuff starts happening.
This was based on a true story, and one of the celebs, real life celebs that were played in this game, is played by Michael Cera in the movie. But there's a lot of rumors going around on who Michael Cera was supposed to be playing, and the big rumor was that he was playing Tobey Maguire in real life.
What?
But they called him Player X in the movie because they didn't want to,
Right.
But yeah, so Tobey Maguire apparently used to be a big time high stakes cash game player, private game player. But they said he was kind of a d-bag, and that's definitely how Michael Cera played him in the movie. So. But it's a good watch, though. I agree, Nude Nut. If you guys are looking for a pretty good poker/gambling movie, Molly's Game is up there. There's a really terrible sports betting movie with Matthew McConaughey and Al Pacino, and I can't think of the name of it off the top of my head. But not a bad watch if you're into gambling, which I'm assuming you are. If you're watching this
I don't know, my big
once you cash game.
sports gambling movie, Casino.
Oh, that's a good one.
I actually hadn't seen it till like 5 years after I started working here, and one of the
Okay.
players called me on it. He's like, "You're a poker dealer and you've never seen Casino."
Great movie.
I'm like, I had seen it like bits and pieces, but I never sat down and watched it all the way through once.
Is that
And
Scorsese?
he stands up and he points at me and he's like, "Your homework assignment tonight. Watch that movie because I'm gonna quiz you about it tomorrow. If you're here tomorrow and you don't know, you're gonna be in trouble." Tell your boss.
You ever see Let It Ride with Richard Dreyfuss?
Yes, I've
Old,
seen
old
Let It
horse
Ride.
racing? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great movie. Hysterical 80s comedy.
I know nothing about horse racing,
Lucky Number 11.
but I kind of wanted to try
Appreciate-
what Richard Dreyfuss did in the movie because from players that they complain that they lose all the time, ask him what horse because they lose all the time. I said, I just bet you with all them people, and you just pick the one horse that nobody picks, I just bet you that horse will win.
Oh, great movie. Did you ever see The Sting?
Yes.
Fantastic movie.
That's more.
That's a
that-
classic.
That's more about crime than it is gambling. though.
Yeah, but the whole final scene
Right.
they're doing, there's poker involved. No,
Yeah.
there's the whole movie's gambling.
Well,
They're
it's about running a scam. It's not really gambling.
brother. They are playing poker on the train
I
where they're
know.
scamming Robert Shaw. At the end, they're scamming based on horse racing. Yeah, it's a scam movie.
That's what I
based
mean.
on
It's-
gambling. I mean,
There's no actual gamble. They fixed the game. It's a sure win. So where's the gamble?
the gamble is not getting caught and having your fingers chopped off.
Well, that is true. That was a bit of a gamble.
Besides, it's got Robert Redford, Paul Newman. I mean, and
Yeah.
Robert Shaw. It's a classic. Ooh, speaking of Paul Newman and gambling movies, what about The Hustler? The Hustler and The Color of Money. Never saw those.
No.
They were pool movies, billiards, but great movies.
Everybody says Paul Newman. I still think Slapshot.
Of course you do.
I still say you're not a hockey fan if you haven't seen that movie.
I've heard that from many hockey fans. But no, you should check out
You
The
don't have to
Hustler.
watch it right away. I mean, like little kids that kind of like hockey. I'm like, no, don't show the kids that movie.
Yeah, with The Hustler was in black and white with Paul Newman back in the 50s, and then they made a sequel like 25 years later with Tom Cruise as the younger pool shark that Paul Newman tries to teach, and then basically, long story short, he gets scammed, and then it's really good. Long story short, great
Yeah.
movies. Watch The Hustler first, then watch Color of Money. It's good stuff. Jackie Gleason played Minnesota Fats in the original Hustler. I don't know if you know much about that stuff.
Yeah, I know him. I've heard of
You heard of Minnesota Fats or Jackie Gleason,
Fats.
or both?
Minnesota. Well, both. Jackie Gleason, who was Sheriff Buford T. Justice,
He was.
but Minnesota Flats. They made a Twilight episode about him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's how I know that name. 'cause
Oh, that's
I love
kinda
that
cool.
show, Yeah.
They made a Twilight Zone about
Yeah.
Minnesota Fats?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I never knew that.
Guy's like, I have to be the best there is, and kind of inadvertently makes a deal with the devil to play Minnesota Fats, and then he beats him. And Minnesota Fats laughs at him. He's like, "Ha!" It's like, "What's so funny? I beat you." He's all like, "That was my punishment. I had to just stay in this pool all trapped forever until I lost, and now you take my place." So Minnesota Fats got to escape, and then the guy that was just, wanted to be the best there ever was, now he really is, but he's trapped in that pool room forever.
Oh, that's so great.
Yeah, it was a good show. I don't gush about old time TV much, but
No, that one stands out apparently.
sit down and binge watch Twilight Zone sometime.
Yeah.
The original.
Oh no,
Rod
I've
Serling.
seen some old
Yeah.
ones. Oh yeah, I've seen some old ones. I never saw that one though. Well, if you like that one, then you definitely got to watch The Hustler then. And actually, in The Color of Money, which was done in like 86, 87, something like that, a young Forrest Whitaker was also a pool hustler in that movie. And you don't even know he's a hustler until he hustles you.
Well,
I
that's
know.
the sign of a good hustler.
There you go.
Because
He crushed it.
sits at the table. How about we play? And then you're like, no, you're a hustler. Get out of here.
You ever see that really terrible poker movie with Hector from Troy? What's his name?
Oh, Brad Pitt.
No, that's Achilles.
Oh, that was Achilles.
Yeah.
No, okay.
Who's
No.
the guy that played Hector?
I was going, you're not talking about Ocean's
Eric
11,
Bana.
are you?
Eric
Oh,
Bana.
okay.
So yeah, he's the poker pro, and then Robert Duvall is his dad, and he's
I don't see that one.
so bro. Like so, Daniel Negreanu's in this movie. They got all these like poker pros, and it was shot. It's just Drew Barrymore's like the love interest, and it is so cheesy and so terrible, and like the way they try to make these poker hands interesting, they just can't and don't. And it's like the main event of the World Series, and then this guy and his dad, and they make the final table. It's so terrible and cheesy, but you can't take your eyes away, because especially if you're a poker player, you can't stop watching it.
Cedric, you limp with Queen 10 suited? We've talked about, see, now you got hands like 10 deuce suited.
He's just
Stringing along.
He's just preparing himself to call any raise here. He's calling up to $20 probably, so he just doesn't want to.
He
He doesn't want to
needs
get
be ready to
re-raised.
call any raise.
He needs to be the one re-raised. He needs to be the one raising. Look at all these crappy hands. He's so lucky that's not 10-5
Yeah,
deuce.
diamonds. Yeah, that's.
Or 10-5 deuce. I mean, you're smashed with, JJ with 2 pair. So if you're betting 15 on this flop, why not just bet pre-flop? I don't know.
Turn is a 7. Nah. Okay, now Howard's going to stick around.
Not a single spade anywhere. Looks like he's going to hold up, right?
Yep, Cedric's
Somehow.
got the 10 with the better kicker.
Nice little value bet.
Yeah,
You're going to find out if
JJ.
you're beat here. God, I love punishing the thin value bettors. I love it. Just shove on them.
Shove on them.
Shove on them. I mean, you lead out 15
there. You're a little aggressive there.
All right, not
Okay,
maybe not
okay.
shove, but you raise $100. Is this guy who's betting 15 ever calling?
Right.
Never.
You just the people watching. You couldn't see his face. He had the teeth and everything. He's like shove on them. It's not like whoa.
I meant it.
Had some like Kill Bill.
Punish the limpers
Some
and
Kill Bill revenge anger in that
You
voice
know
he
it.
had.
bro, I got the 5-finger death punch. All right. That's a great movie. 1 and 2. He was thinking about making his final movie, Kill Bill 3, and like having what's her name's daughter come back and be
Yeah.
the assassin.
Uma Thurman wouldn't do it. That's why it never happened.
Interesting. Okay.
Well, he said that in an interview. She said no. She wants to do she doesn't want to do that movie
Okay.
anymore. But because he said, man, it would have been out like 6 years ago.
Yeah. Well, he was also going to do a Star Trek. He had a Star Trek script penned, which was also going to be his final plot, his possible final movie.
Was Kirk gonna scream "con" into the camera and then the whole alarm thing like?
and then blood comes out of his eyes,
Right.
and you got to do some kind of
Kill Khan.
Tarantino-esque. Exactly. God. Well, Pocket
So
Kings
against
somehow Howie's in
this
there with
stuff.
Queen 3.
I don't know.
Howie really likes his Queen 3 off. He's got 2 flush draws and 2 straight draws.
It says, yeah. How do you get money out of him? You can't.
No.
And I'm not sure you'd want to because if he had called that bet, I'd have to think, what has he got, diamonds or something?
We got Kevin in the box right now. Kevin always looking slick with the hair and the beard. And
Sane Kevin.
Sane Kevin?
Sane Kevin.
Oh.
Not crazy Kevin.
There's a crazy Kevin?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, crazy Kevin, who's
Joe-
our dual
yeah,
rate?
Joe-
Our
yeah,
dual
I was
rate?
going to
Yeah.
say. He says, we have a crazy Kevin. And Joey kind of looks like what? Of course we do.
Kevin was actually a dealer when I was a dealer here
Yeah.
the first go-around 20 years ago.
A part-time teacher at the dealer school I attended.
Was he really?
Yeah. Basically, his lesson was he would act up at the table, and he's all like, "Oh no, by the way, don't do anything that I do, like here and here. That's a good rule of thumb."
Was that off of Griffin? Was that one of his schools, or is that Griffin and Lauderdale?
No,
or
not that one.
different school? Okay.
No, different. A school that is no longer in operation.
Gotcha.
I had me and a couple others, we had the dubious honor of being the last graduating class.
That is probably dubious.
It was dubious. I really don't like pineapple. Everybody keeps raving about that game. I don't know what it is.
I love Omaha.
Yeah.
I like Hold'em, but I've never been a Pineapple fan either.
Omaha's okay. I don't like high-low.
I don't like high-low either, but
Yeah.
I love Omaha.
High only's good.
I love it.
Just basically any game that encourages chopping. Are we here to share or are we here to win?
I can't stand
Yeah, that's why I can't
running
get
it
behind
twice.
high-low.
I don't like
Oh,
running it
no,
twice. I
no.
don't like high-low. I don't like. I'm with you all the way. I don't want to
I
chop.
had that
I want to
whole
win.
scenario right. If all in, hey, do you want to run it twice? And every time I've been asked, I've said no. Why? And I'm like, oh, you want the scientific explanation?
You want the short answer?
I said, okay, either I'm ahead, and it's really dumb of me to give you extra outs to catch me just to chop, or I'm behind. And in the improbable event that I suck out on you, why would I give you more cards to take half of my money?
Right.
This is a lose-lose proposition. I'm
Well,
like,
and also-
bro, if you got me, you got me. Congratulations.
And from
But-
your point of view, more often than not, when you're putting your money in, you're going to be ahead.
Yeah.
So why are
I'm
you going to
getting
give
it good.
away? Why are you
Yeah.
going to give them
Why
more?
should I give you more outs? I'm trying to win your money. They're like, we're not friends. I'm trying to take your money from you, and you're trying to take my money from me.
Yeah, that tracks.
Yeah. Not so serious, man. I said, sir, I will check raise my own mother. I do not give a damn.
I'm here for it.
Mom knows better than to sit down at a table with me.
This is that terrible poker movie I was telling you about, Lucky You.
Lucky you. Okay.
Yeah. Actually
I'll have
terrible.
to check that out.
Actually terrible. But it's got all these
never saw
stars
it.
in
Right.
it. It's got all these
You
stars.
see those stars, and you're like, oh, it's got all these really good actors, so it's probably good.
What's that? Brother, it got a 5.9 on IMDb. You know how bad
Joey
you
says
gotta
it's
be?
not that terrible as he smiles and kind of laughs. I'm like, dude, that tells me that
That's
it's
a bluff.
kind of terrible.
That's a bluff. If you have
Yeah,
to
he's
say
bluffing.
it's not
I'm all
that
like-
terrible, it's if you say that
Not
terrible,
that
it's terrible.
terrible.
I mean, listen, I've watched it more than once because once you start watching it, you can't stop because that's how terrible it is.
Right. It's one of those it's so bad it's good
Yeah,
kind of thing.
that's exactly what it is.
Right.
You know who else is in that movie, Joey? Michael Shannon, who actually just won an Oscar, I think, and he's like one of these, like, he hits an 8 on the river for a set, and he gets all excited and he like flips it up,
Right.
but like it's so cheesy the way they do it, but you can't stop watching it. You can't stop watching it, so watch it so you can't stop watching it. The train wreck is real.
Perhaps. But not today.
Hmm.
Today is for Panther hockey.
Oh, that's right. Horatio Sands was also in this. Deborah Messing. Who are these people?
You to finish this out so I can go cash in my box so I can be out at 4. It's like 15 minutes left. I'll sign out at 3:45. So.
Listen, Marvel great Robert Downey Jr. also in this movie. It's okay. I can finish that on my own. I'm a legend. Hot take: every poker movie is bad.
We've been talking about Maverick's not bad. Maverick's funny as hell.
But is that a poker movie or is
Yes.
that a gambling movie?
It's a poker movie. The whole point of the movie, he says it in like the first 5 minutes, everything is poker, not just the card game. Because if you notice the actions and the moves that everybody makes, it's all poker. It's bluffs, it's posturing, representing something that's not true. It's the whole thing. Watch it again.
Getting dressed up as an Indian, running around, getting shot at by rich Russian guys. That's
Okay,
that's
that
a
was
movie.
just funny.
That's a this is a movie, guys.
Fun fact,
Not real life.
Russian was Bluto in the Robin Williams Popeye movie.
Good to know. Thanks, Matt. Have a good one, bud. Good luck tonight.
I'm back in here.
Hey,
I'm back in the
Joseph.
box.
Joseph, we need to ban this guy on the chat. His name's the Cube King.
That guy's the worst.
He's been a little over the top.
Look, he's not wrong. Like every poker movie is inherently kind of bad.
First of all,
Acting's bad,
listen,
the
I can't-
poker's bad.
Rounders, there's no bad acting in there. It's actually a great movie. It doesn't matter how many times you've seen it. It's a
Yeah.
great movie. But
You know what was the most accurate one? Did you ever watch Tilt? Remember when the series Tilt was on? It was on ESPN. It was during like when World Series was super big, and that was like during Moneymaker and Hatchem. Okay, Tilt was a
Yeah.
series. Tilt was awesome.
that's right.
Tilt was really good. They only went one season though, unfortunately. But it was like
You're
pretty. It felt
It was
like
good. Yeah, it felt like
it was
like
in there.
legit.
and
yeah.
it was super cool because they had.
Well, it's backed
they
by
would-
ESPN, right? So they were
Yeah.
using all the old like the
They
sets
would
and
use
everything.
Phil
and-
Hellmuth and stuff in there, and like set up, and they would show him playing at the World Series, and there was like people were paid to dump chips off to this one pro, and he was like the guy that owned Vegas, and it was really
That's
good.
right.
That was-
a long
that's,
time
like, my
ago.
favorite.
That's
I
like when
love-
poker was
yeah.
like taking off, right? Like
Yeah.
probably over 10 years ago, right?
Yeah, I do love Rounders. Like Rounders is the best of them all. It's the one like when all of us essentially came up and getting into poker. Like Rounders was it. Like,
Yeah.
Rounders has the
It
best.
still holds. It still
Yeah.
holds up.
It holds up as the best. It has the best spirit of the game of poker is in there.
No,
Some
you-
of the hands are kind of
Well, you have the rats. You have you know
Yeah.
you have the mob, which I mean
Yeah.
is relevant.
Yeah.
But it's just
Some of it's pretty bad. Mikey is actually not he's a pretty bad player. when he's playing against KGB, it's actually pretty terrible on some of it. And and Teddy KGB is awful too. He's like
I can go on busting you up
that
all
tell
night,
is
Teddy.
like, come on, to Teddy.
Oh, the Oreo
You
tell?
need to be able to be aware of your tell. You know what I mean? It's kind of ridiculous. And for Matt,
Wait, you mean listening to an Oreo
And
is,
for
is
Mikey
not
to
a
not-
legit tell?
and for Mikey to not realize that he doesn't have the nuts, he doesn't have the nuts straight. Like he like. And
What do you
he's-
mean? He did have the nuts.
No, but he lost the hand, right? Remember when he had
Yeah,
the
he had
straight-
aces up. No. So Mikey had ace 5.
Yeah,
Teddy KGB flopped the nuts.
yeah.
And then Mike had to fold because Teddy KGB listened to the Oreo. He realized he had the
No,
nuts,
but
and then he folded top 2. But
the
then on
first
the hand,
time around, when he loses everything, when he cleans them out,
gotcha.
he gets beat by a higher straight. He's so certain.
No, he got
You
beat by
know?
a boat, I think.
He had a straight, and then
then
Teddy KGB had a boat.
had the boat,
Yeah,
yep.
he had ace 4 or something
Yep.
like that. It's terrible though. He's got to know.
Yep.
You can't just assume his straight. Like he thought his straight was golden.
It's late 90s, man. They didn't have the books that we have now.
Famke Janssen is the best part of that movie.
She's the best part of every movie
she's
she's
fantastic in that
she's
movie,
so
too.
good.
They need to explore that relationship more between them. That was what was super cool part of that movie.
She was fantastic, man.
This is a deep dive. This is a rewatchables podcast we're going into about Rounders now.
Did you ever see a movie with her and Jon Favreau? It's called like it's called Love and Sex.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like a little dramatic comedy, but it came out right around the same time as Rounders, and her and Jon Favreau were so good. I don't even know how I know that and how I remember that movie because I haven't seen it in 20-something years, but great movie. Famke Janssen. Good. Hey, man, good name pull there. Good name pull. I mean, she's obviously Jean Grey, which, you know,
Yeah,
she's
of course.
done some things,
Look.
but still, that's
Yeah.
a good one. I feel like we're watching a tournament now. We're down to 6 players.
Yeah, we're down to 6 here. This cash game's dwindling. Nick's already got right. That's Nick. Nick has all his chips
Yep,
racked up.
Nick's just waiting for aces.
It's just like,
He's got his
I'm
stack.
only playing aces. He's
It's
playing out of the rack.
pretty much on lock at this point, I'd say. Paul's chips are so on lock, he said, I'm just going to take them with me.
I feel like they should do bomb pots at this point. Like, what do we do at the end of games?
Some of these guys would have no clue what to do in a bomb pot.
Like, what do you do at the end of a game? Like, your poker game's breaking up. You're home. You know,
You switch
what I
to
mean?
Omaha.
Everyone does like you do flips. You do Omaha flips.
Omaha, yep, that's exactly what you do.
What's going on?
It's literally exactly what you do. I would tell you how we flipped the last cash game I went to, but I'm not sure if my wife's listening, so I don't. I don't need her to ask me about our flips. Juicy though, that's all you got to know.
Oh, yeah.
Juicy.
They've still been talking about making Rounders too.
Uh-huh.
Matt Damon wants.
Well, they've
to
been
make
talking about it.
Yeah.
They've been talking about it.
And you could see him. You know, it's 30 years later. Maybe he's gone through the World Series circuit. He's a pro. He's come out. I don't know, and he'd have to be in trouble with someone.
No, he would have to try and come back and save Worm again, who's really in trouble with someone.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, that's basically the same story from the first one, but I mean, you could
Matt
really ride
Damon's
that
been
into
on
the ground.
podcasts. He's been on like the Bill Simmons podcast to talk about it because that's like Bill Simmons' favorite movies, like Rounders. You know,
Is
one
it
of
really?
them. So they always talk about like, please, can we get Rounders too? And so they always talk about it. And
But they say they revisit it like
Yeah.
every couple of years. You know, the director talks about it.
Yeah.
Matt Damon talks
it's
about it.
the
Even Ed
closest
Norton
to getting
was.
done again is now actually in
Yeah.
getting movement.
I mean, there's so
Problem
many
is
different
that
places.
everyone became so big after that. Ed Norton was already big. He was already
That's
like
when he was at his
prime Ed
biggest.
Norton. So
Yep.
he was kind of like, wow, he was overcast for that movie. Like, wow, he's really this
Yep.
is prime actor in here. And Matt Damon, you know, was still up and coming.
He already hit
was
it pretty
big.
big with Good Will
Yeah, he
Hunting.
did.
He won the Oscars.
So it was like a perfect movie for him. But everyone then Matt Damon became, you know, one of
He
the biggest
became Matt
actors in the
Damon. Yeah,
world.
he's a
So,
superstar, megastar.
You know, he's pulling in 20 mil, 30 mil, you know, at
No,
that
that's-
time a picture. So Rounders 2 isn't, you know.
Did you ever hear the story about him where James Cameron asked him to be in Avatar before they even knew what Avatar was going to be? And James Cameron was trying to bring in a big name to be a part of the Avatar franchise, and they offered Matt Damon, don't quote me, I want to say it was 15% of the box office take.
Oh wow!
And he
Jeez,
turned it down.
Avatar, imagine Avatar.
Bro, he would have been, it might have even been a little more than that, but they offered him like a big portion of the box office take, and he would have made 400 million off that or something like that.
Yeah, this was a really good hand that just brewed here. JJ, he doesn't have anything, but he had the 9 of diamonds, so he had an open-ended straight flush draw, and King Queen folded with King of diamonds with
JJ's made a couple
Straight
good plays
draw.
here. He's actually made one bad play this whole game, and the
Yeah.
flop was 5-5 king, and he had king queen, and Howie had pocket aces, and Nick had quad fives.
Yeah.
So,
I think if this game wasn't about to break, that he might have gotten a call there.
oh yeah,
Maybe
maybe.
king of diamonds in a straight draw too.
Yeah,
and I don't know.
board was paired with diamonds out
Yeah,
there,
something. That's true. It was.
and JJ's played pretty solid the whole time, so it's kind of hard to believe that he would be getting out of line.
Trying to think. Does Casino Royale count as a poker movie?
So it
It's the
depends.
most outrageous poker scene.
So I still
all
think,
time.
however outrageous you think that is, I'm pretty sure that Lucky You with Eric Bana has more outrageous takes. It's all along the same lines, but yeah, I would consider Casino Royale a poker movie.
Yeah.
I mean,
That poker scene is great.
it's
and
it's so
great.
cheesy, but that's what James Bond is.
Yeah.
It's so
But the
great.
last hand is cheesy. Like
Yeah,
the play
it's-
is actually pretty good. They're
Bro,
they're grinding
yeah,
all
full
night.
house,
Yeah.
quads,
Oh, no,
straight flush.
This is a casino. This is like a progressive bad beat at Tampa Hard Rock. Or
So
something.
listen,
You know what I mean? Like an outrageous scenario to happen, and on James Bond
it
as Royal
is.
Flush.
It
or-
is.
you know what I
Chances
mean?
are it's not happening when there's $100 million on the
It's
line.
insane.
you
This
know?
would happen in like a Euro game, playing
Right.
with 50K plaques, checks.
I want to play in a game with checks so bad.
Oh yeah,
I want
Oh, yeah.
that for my own personal experience.
Oh,
I
yeah.
want to play in that
It'd
game.
be amazing. Yeah, just make him your $10 chip.
Yeah, right, exactly. Go to your home game and have a stack of checks in their
Yeah.
quarters.
Exactly. For sure.
James, you ever see Lucky You, Eric Bana? Yeah? Terrible or not terrible?
I mean, it's corny, but it's if you want to watch a poker movie, it's not bad.
On a scale from 1 to 10, where are you putting it? And you can put decimals. I want to see if you're close to where IMDb has it.
I mean, I'm putting it as a kind of a corny poker movie.
Yeah.
So like I'm gonna put it somewhere. I mean, realistically, it's probably like around a
5.9. Yep, you're on it. You're
Yeah.
right. I thought you were gonna say 6, which would have been like
Not-
right there. You know?
Not too terrible.
No, it's not terrible. I mean, as far as a poker movie goes, but it's just so cheesy and so like.
That's the problem with all poker movies. That's the point. They're all cheesy.
don't
Rounders
think-
is the closest to not being cheesy.
I don't think there's anything cheesy about Rounders, and that's just from me. Maybe.
Did you ever see Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels?
Yes!
Okay,
I love that movie.
that's.
Great.
Can we count that as a poker movie?
Yeah, kinda.
Two of the biggest
Kinda,
scenes are in poker
yeah,
games when
yeah.
when he's got the camera and the guy's cheating the whole time.
That's the whole movie where it starts from. They're running it off that
So
cheating
good.
poker game. Yeah.
Jack 10. Jack 10's got an open-ended straight flush draw here with top 2. JJ's getting some of these draws. That's his second open-ended straight flush draw in 3 hands.
Nick's coming along with top 2, but can't really like it too much. Bob's got just 9s and 8s. Not really sure what he's thinking. I guess the bet's low, so why not?
Just bang. Oh,
Bing bong.
the 7 of clubs.
Bing
No.
bong bang.
The Von Black 7. Look how close.
Oh yeah, for a high end. Yep. So back to Lucky You. The one part of the movie that sticks out in my mind is Eric Bana loses the big pot. He's up and down with his bankroll, whatever. He loses the big pot. Somebody Harmon, Poker Pro back in the day. You don't remember?
Rebecca Harmon? No, that's Becky Harmon.
Angela Harmon?
No, I don't know.
Becky Harmon? No, she's
that's
the ref, or the
Yeah.
coach.
No, she's an athlete.
You know what I'm talking about? She had like the weird nose. Cute for poker player. What's her name? Somebody Harmon. What was her name? Anyway.
Yes, I remember.
Anyway, long story
yeah, I
short.
remember her.
You know what I'm
Jennifer
talking about.
Harmon.
Jennifer, thank you.
Ah!
Jennifer Harmon.
She had
Yeah.
the pixie haircut.
Yes.
Yes.
Adorable, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
very cute. So anyway,
One
so
of the stars
she
of early
wins the
poker.
hand. She was the lady star,
I got
right?
it.
So Jennifer, yeah, good job, dude. Yeah. So she basically she checks the table, and then Eric Bana does the like really ridiculous cheesy hokey, like gives her the dab on the table like that. It makes me cringe as a dealer, as a player, as someone who's been around poker for 25 years. It like makes me cringe, but I'm just like, it's a poker movie, so you're happy to watch it, It's everybody's in that movie though. Doyle's in that movie. Negreanu's in that
Yeah.
movie. Jennifer
Yeah,
Harmon's
it's
in that
loaded.
movie. Sammy Farhall's playing the cash game.
Yeah. Poker Pros and Drew Barrymore obviously and like pretty big cast.
And Michael Shannon, who ends up winning an Oscar. He's the dirtbag in that movie who, Rivers. Oh, you know what happened? There was a misdeal. The dealer misdeals. He shuffled all the cards back in, and then the river was the set that ended up beating Eric Bana to win something. But anyway, terrible movie, but I've seen it enough that I can tell you what's happened in it, so I guess that tells you something. I've seen it more than once. Did you ever see Molly's Game?
No.
No? That was a good one, too. Nancy!
Is that Nancy?
What's
You rocking.
up?
It's got to be Nancy.
Nancy, we were talking about you earlier. We had nobody on the chat, and I was calling for a smack dab. I was calling out into the universe for a smack dab, and nobody came to my rescue. But eventually we got Nude Nut, who's first time caller, long time viewer of the show.
First time, long time. Out here from Nebraska, calling in. Coast to Coast Radio.
I used to call Dr. Laura when I was in high school.
You listen to Coast to Coast when you're with your
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I grew up on like talk radio and like AM radio. My grandpa and was listening in, like all the time and all the crazy stuff.
Yep.
Like so like Coast to Coast was really interesting, and they'd be talking about a UFO sightings or paranormal dimensions if we live in a different dimension or not. And like some guy would call up and I saw an alien 2 weeks ago and like I did it or some experience they had in Peru or something.
No, I used to listen to that stuff all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we had. We had radio.
Yeah.
Couldn't watch TV in the car. Couldn't watch
That's
TV
why,
at night.
I don't know. So like I naturally I listen, like I'm a podcast guy. I listen to a lot of podcasts. So look at these flops. Queen Jack 10, 50 to 1 on 3 card, straight flush, right? Is it 50 to 1 still? Is it 40 to 1 for straight flush up top?
You're asking the wrong guy, buddy.
Aren't you auditioning?
I took one audition, did not do well, and I went back and started studying again, and then I found out that they were changing all the changing all the odds. So I said, I'll wait till you guys settle in, and then
I was like,
then I'll
that
come
flop
back.
alone's worth 40 to 1 downstairs on 3 card. Pretty hard to do.
And
That
I'll
flop
just take
would
your
have been
word
it.
for it. Oh, by the way, Lily got a Switch for her birthday, so she wants Sophie to come over and do some things.
All right.
She wants to play some Mario Kart.
Looks like this game's over.
That's why I'm talking about Mario Kart.
Yeah. We
All
could
right,
have
guys.
Mario Kart tournament next stream.
Listen, don't tempt me with a good time. By the way, I've been playing Mario Kart for about 30 years, so you don't want the smoke.
Anyways, thanks for having me, guys.
Guys, we really appreciate you coming through. Nude Nut, Cube King, Oak Tie, Nancy. We appreciate all you guys coming through. We want another reminder. We got the Moneymaker Tour coming through October 25th through November 4th.
Yep. Come in, check it out. This is going to be rocking for 2 weeks here.
That's right. We got tournaments every day and night. Come on through down to the Kennel Club. And appreciate you guys.
Appreciate you guys.
Have a good night.